Ladies and gentlemen, this absolute rad stream of Jake the Alright, supported by Martin Falkman, CEO of New Caloric Agriculture. Enjoy watching this stream, and don't forget to follow. See you Starside. Praise the Fork.
Boom. Holy moly. Could the drop have come at a better or worse time if you're very excited to hear the excellent Detrea? Once again, thank you to Undefined. Thank you to Detrea. Thank you to all the people who contributed incredible art that we get to display on the glorious folklore intro. Really excellent. Really, really excellent. Gooey Life, Undefined, Poppy, Michael, Carlos, a whole bunch of people. Elster, how's it going? Beeble, Kavan. I hope everyone is doing well. Soviet, I see ya. How's it going? Scott, loved it. Thank you so much. Undefined put that together for us. So the past 2 or 3 streams, we've gotten to rock it, and I love it very, very much. I saw today we even had a picture of me from the stream earlier today. So doing good. I am doing good, Elster, guys. We're gonna start with a lore review, a story review. We're going to talk about everything we learned about the narrative inside of the alpha so far. The all right heart. So that's the plan. So structure of today will be a little bit of a class session. We're going to, go through everything so we have it in one cohesive section of me yapping about it. Then we'll move on to playing a few games. I believe Ace had said he would be around. We'll see if we get someone else in there. I'm sure somebody here would love to play, but that is the plan. Okay, so the way we're going to structure this is we're going to use Carnamir's Lore Archive. If Michael could put the link into to Carnamir's Lore Archive at some point, just so everybody has the source information if they want to go read it for themselves. Carnamir, I've been talking to him behind the scenes and giving him some clips from this so he can make sure everything is super accurate, and he's done an amazing job of keeping everything up to date. Thank you, Michael, for pinning that. Keeping all the new story stuff and all the narrative stuff that we're getting up to date on Carnamir's Lore Archive. I absolutely recommend it. It has all of the ARG stuff, all of the archive stuff from the original games, and the ARG from this year as well. So very Ace is for good to know, Ace. Very good resource. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to jump over to Carnamir's website. I'll just give you guys a glimpse of here. Wait, here, let me make sure we're here. Okay, this is what it looks like. So just for a little reference, when you come here to look at it for yourselves, okay, you click here. Now the timeline's still in progress, but they're kind of trying to include the new dates as well for reference. And then season 0 would be the 2023 ARG. So here you can see the letters, the memoranda. I believe technically this includes the 2025 ARG stuff right now, so those aren't separated. So season 0, I guess, is everything that came prior to the alpha. But you can see all of the stuff that we got. Okay, so here's the Rage Terminal, and it's laid out down here, and it even has a directory for you. All of the letters that we got from the 2023 one, the memoranda talking about Project Goliath to send the Equanimity to take back Tau Ceti. All that stuff is included in here. And then in the season 1 section is where you get to read through all of the priority contract stuff that we got inside of the alpha. Okay, so what I've done is I've gone through these, highlighted a few sections. We're going to talk pretty generally about what we're feeling, prior to start, and then go through basically those priority contracts, and I'm going to give a little bit of my thoughts on that. That way it's summarized all in one place. Obviously, I've been in a unique situation where I'm able to play this game, no lifestyle, and put a bunch of hours in, but I'm sure it's reasonable that a lot of you guys have missed portions or chunks or not seen little bits, although I know some of you are up to date and probably even finished the priority contracts before I did. Okay, but hopefully this can be like I said, a nice cohesive little let's see everything that we got. Okay, so before we jump into it, the stuff that we got just prior to the alpha was the launch trailer. We got the the announcement date launch trailer where we saw Glitch dying, it seems, in Dire Mars. And then we got us to the gameplay trailer and the gameplay overview trailer, which is all shots from Dire Marsh. And then obviously the excellent cinematic Alberto Mialgo put together, and the people at Bungie and a bunch of Illusorium, a bunch of people worked on that. And that gave us kind of some greater background contextual stuff that we will touch on as we go through these story beats in here. But I'm not going to go back through and explain, the ARGs and all of that stuff right now. So it's going to be focused on this. If I reference to it, I will provide an explanation. And then obviously as we go, I'm going to get on little rants, and I'll go a little wild and start yapping like crazy for a little bit. But all of you guys guys have been watching along and playing and have your own thoughts. So please put them in the chat. I will try to read them as we go. And if I get a section where I'm, on a roll and I'm really TED talking something, we'll come back at the end of that given section and we'll kind of review any thoughts, questions, different ideas that people have had. And then that way, between all of our minds, I think collectively we can put a pretty nice bow on a lot of these concepts. Seb, thank you so much. Glad you're here. Forgot a spoon for my tea. You should use a fork, Elster, to be on brand. A blue fork, preferably. Currently moderating this presentation. Oh no. Okay. Well, maybe my class. What is it? Undefined with 5 subs. Thank you so much, Undefined. I appreciate that so much. Oh, and Michael, I did change the sounds. Right? I think they all should be up to date. I appreciate that, Undefined. Seriously. But yeah, like I said, so anybody has any additional pieces, we will obviously go through that. Like I said, I think collectively we can put something really good together here, okay? So like I said, we're going to look at these. But are they different? We got like 20 of them. They are not different yet. That is a good point. Okay, I found one that I really liked. I'm now realizing, I did make one different though, but it wasn't one of the ones you sent me. I used the marathon loading sound from the originals for raids, I think. The wee is a must. Okay, we will add it. Thanks for the bits, Elster. Everybody, thank Elster for the bits. Okay, so we're gonna get started, and we're going to start with, is that hold on, wait, what's it? Okay, I think we're going, oh wait, well let me start one by doing this so we don't get hit with notifications. Okay, we're gonna start with Oni, and Oni is the representative for CyberAcme. So CyberAcme was kind of introduced as the tutorial faction that's just reintroducing us, in their words, to being a runner on Tau Ceti, because our last run we sustained some damage, which we'll read here in a second. All right, so CyberAcme didn't have a lot of narrative content inside the alpha itself, really just an introduction into how the contract system is going to work. My assumption is going to be that since they have a pretty vast upgrade component to their tree, that we will end up getting some priority contracts from them later down the line. But in this one, our primary 2 factions or mega corporations that we got to interact with were New Caloric and Traxxas, but we didn't get access to them until we completed the Oni stuff, okay, or the CyberAcme stuff. Now, Oni is the AI, presumably, that we saw in the cinematic, who was talking to Glitch and Void and doing those interviews, asking about their lucky charm, their maybe I'm thinking cereal right now. Maybe that's not the exact term that they use, but asking if they recognize the photo, doing that kind of pre-evaluation before the runner was deployed to make sure their systems were operating appropriately. Is extract Kali animation. I know Michael put that together. Really good, right? We need the meow 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 sound from the alpha. Very hard to find though. Yeah, thank you. AI and Marathon, who would have thought? Okay. So Oni sets us up. All right, so let's just read these a little bit. I highlight the parts I want to talk about. We'll go through those. And like I said, generally not a ton to glean from this in terms of the story beats that they're presenting in the alpha, but some contextual information I think is interesting. Okay, so Greetings Runner is your onboard navigational intelligence. That's what Oni means in case you missed it. If you prefer, so I guess you could call her onboard navigational intelligence, CyberAcme's dedicated AI guide. We are currently communicating through a direct neural interface. Now, this is something that I had said on stream and I wasn't entirely sure of, right? Because Oni is communicating with us while we're on Tau Ceti. When you first load in, right, you're zapped down, you're on Tau Ceti 4, you get a line from Oni. Sometimes it's, hey, you're going to do great out there. Sometimes it's, you're rats in a cage eating the corpse of your loved ancestors. Some sort of crazy pseudo rampant poetry that she is spouting towards us. And things get a little corrupted and lower AI rampancy by putting them in spider bots to assault people. So sometimes she's helpful, sometimes she's saying a little bit of off-color things, okay? But that is the voice. So when we're on the planet, we're on Tau Ceti 4 running, that's who we're hearing. And the way she's communicating with us is this direct neural interface. So it's not necessarily that she's planet side with us, but our biomata are directly linked to her, assumedly through Cyber Acme systems, right? Which Cyber Acme in the original games, they made the OS or the operating systems for the computers on board the Marathon, and now they're back. And in this reboot, remake, reimagining, whatever you want to call it, is still kicking around and still very relevant within the computer world, arguably the Microsoft of the Marathon universe, potentially. Okay, but it is a good point here that it's not that Oni is necessarily planet side with us, but she's just communicating with us via a neural interface. And just to kind of go a little bit further with that line of thinking, these kind of rampant thoughts and expressions that we hear her muttering as we come in and out of runs seems to indicate that even though she's not directly located planet side, like assumedly her AI servers and data are stored elsewhere, even just experiencing Tau Ceti 4 through the runners seems to be impacting her thought processes, her ability to operate effectively without having these rampant moments, which we'll learn about when we're talking about the new caloric quest line, which introduce us to the contagion, the virus that's affecting people and AI. Okay, your shell sustained unusual durability damage during your last run. I thought this was, like I said, a bit far-flung right here, but what if this last run that Oni references in this intro was the cinematic, that prior exposure to maybe this emotional kind of connection to that music that they were listening to, indicating this kind of runner rampancy concept that I've talked about before. Obviously, we do see Glitch take quite a beating, and also it seems like they're engaging in some stuff that's a little bit outside the norm for these cybernetic mercenaries. A little emotional. Void is not pulling the trigger on her. It seems like there's something deeper to that interaction. It could be that was potentially the last run that she did, and then Glitch had to get, I don't know, repaired, or maybe something more happened to that we have not seen yet. Faction affiliation could be utilized more. So when Vulcan goes rampant, do we think she'll become a worse and more individualist, crooked capitalist, or go straight up communist? Yeah, I think it might be the other way around, right? I think she might go straight communist. Okay, so we do a few for congratulations, you reached the final step of your reorientation. Just further reiterating the fact that, like, listen, you've been here running for some amount of time, but there was something that went wrong, okay, and that now you had to be reoriented and taught how to run again, almost like how AI within the Strauss memo from here, let's do this, boop boop boop, we got the Strauss memo in the ARG UESC letters right here. Given enough time, the learning system will grow in complexity beyond its original design parameters. This is how rampancy occurs. This ever-increasing complexity is expressed as aberrant behavior. Not corrected, this aberrant behavior will develop into what is commonly referred to as rampancy. All modern AI are constructed following a very specific and rigorous design methodology. Different manufacturers have different methodologies, but they were all put together with the same goal in mind, to allow for the ability to precisely predict when AI will reach its capacity for useful growth. Typically a year out from SMR, there will be recognizable cues to inform one of its approach, a digital tick, if you will, kind of like what we're seeing in Oni. Depending on the class of AI and the equipment at hand, recompiling may take anywhere from several hours from several days. Okay, let's snooze that. I don't want to update right now. Several hours, several days. This is why the members of every family suite have staggered inception dates, as it allows for single members to be taken offline and recompiled while keeping the rest of the suite functional. Okay, so this recompiling is what they do to AI to, once they start to notice behaviors that are going to lead to rampancy, they take them back down, recompile them. It's what we see Gaius kind of pseudo alluding to what he is doing to prevent those tendencies from popping up in himself later on in what we saw. Okay, we're coming down here. Oh yeah, and then I must now draw your attention to the considerable financial investment your replacement shells represent. $1 trillion. I thought that was interesting. Obviously, one of the things they were hinting at in the cinematic as well. Martinism will be the new way of life in 2890. It seems like it. And it is like that in 2025. It'll last. Rocco, how's it going? Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you, Nori. Or Chublaka. It popped up for a second. Okay, I just thought this was an interesting comeback. Thank you. Interesting callback to what we saw in that cinematic, and obviously this kind of relationship between the mega corporations, AI, whoever's controlling this process of dishing out these shells. This is not some sort of equitable situation where each party is equal. Thank you so much, D. I appreciate you. This is a situation where the runners themselves are kind of at the mercy of the people who are housing their consciousness and whether or not they can afford wage slavery, for sure, to the masks. Thank you, Soviet. Well said. And then down here on the final one, when we've completed all the SIAC quests, well, the baseline for successful runner exfiltration is approximately 33%. I thought this was interesting because I believe they said it was 37% on Dire Marsh, right? After we got the stats back from Bungie. And then congratulations, runner. You've completed your Cyber Acme orientation and have proven yourself fully functional. 2 mega corporations have requested access to a partition of your neural interface. Okay. So one, referring to them as mega corporations does kind of plant them within the universe as being very self-aware as to what they are. Maybe the corporations on themselves, but the entities, the people within this universe understand that these are corporations that have grown beyond the scope of probably what we could imagine right now, albeit I do see a future where maybe something like Amazon might have some stake on Mars or something, so maybe not too far-fetched. Also, requested access to a partition of your neural interface. Now, once again, not a computer guy or computer professional, but when I think of partitions, I think of divisions or things that have been divided into separate parts. Okay, one of the questions that we've talked about while we're playing the alpha itself is how are we working in this idea that there's so many glitches? Like Glitch has a backstory that's given in her little runner description, which we'll go through later. She has a personality. Like each one of these characters inside of the cinematic display traits that are unique to themselves. We see certain movements and mannerisms that, it's not that they're just like completely soulless entities inhabiting these synthetic forms. There is some level of differentiating factors in their personalities and how they interact and behave, right? And I think this language here is very telling because in universe, a partition of your neural interface makes it sound to me like these consciousness or your sentience or, you as you are uploaded into this digital registry is genuinely being cloned and separated for use in various different ways. So from a lore perspective, we could say that this explains the situation of multiple glitches running around in Tau Ceti. Now, why are they not recognizing each other? Why is that not something that the runners are concerned with? Maybe they are. And we haven't seen that facet of it yet. And in the cinematic, for example, we're seeing them all run into, separate iterations of each other, and they all are basically suffering a death, except for Thief and Lifeline, right? Or who we suspect is Lifeline. Mr. Forkman, glad to have you. But this would make sense if this consciousness of one individual is being separated and sold out to multiple companies. Now, the bigger question becomes, who's getting the money? We're doing this for credits. We're mercenaries, right? But are each one of these partitioned, neural interfaces, are those each individuals with their own separate bank accounts? Or is it going to some sort of root consciousness that all of these are, reset back from, or some sort of base consciousness that isn't being injected into a shell? Is there a person somewhere else? It doesn't seem that way, right? But that kind of once again opens up this larger question about runners and runners' place inside of the world of Marathon. It doesn't really seem like they have a personhood, and that's almost a facade for these AI entities to conduct their operations. Arwen, how's it going? Cry, how's it going? I hope you guys are doing well. Okay, and then this final line I just think is ominous in tone and also referential back to their original games. You can rely on Cyber Acme to be there wherever your journey takes you, which I think is interesting because wherever your journey takes you, obviously we're seeing this Cyber Acme symbols all throughout the original games on all these terminals all over the place, traveling across the solar system. So I think it's relevant that Cyber Acme is almost sounding self-aware of things that the company might not necessarily be self-aware of. Thank you so much, Lenny. I appreciate you. Okay, moving on, we're going to look at, I believe, Traxxas next. Yes, okay. So the first mega corporation, we're going to go through their priority contracts as we got the majority of narrative stuff. Obviously, there's some in-game stuff that we'll talk about in this, and then when we go over to the game side, I'll load into those maps and try to run over to those areas. Maybe it takes a time or two if we get smacked by a good team, just so we can get a visual on those and kind of talk about what we're seeing there. All right, but for Traxxas, we meet the Traxxas agent Vulcan. Now, if you followed the 2023 ARG, this is going to be familiar to you, as Vulcan is an AI that is introduced there in the Traxxas Board of Directors chat room. So in the 2023 ARG, people hacked into the Traxxas website and were able to gain access to this secret boardroom that had the Traxxas board of directors and Vulcan. So that was their CEO, all their heads that were on the website, you know, big executive level megacorp people, and Vulcan, the assistant AI, who was providing like reports to them and resetting the server every day and doing stuff like that, right? So Vulcan is someone that we're familiar with in the sense that we saw them being utilized as a tool, but we didn't really get any personality, or there was no conversation from Vulcan within that chat room. And in that chat log, in those chat logs, which took place in 2888, we saw that the board of directors were basically pivoting as a company. Traxxas was pivoting as a company to take on the UESC and Tau Ceti. We had some ideas about why that was, which were later confirmed through the 2025 ARG and the stuff that we saw here, that Traxxas felt like they had a right to the Marathon project and the colony on Tau Ceti 4 because of all the work they did to make the mission successful. Integrating with MIDA is maybe something that we couldn't say for certain yet, but basically helping to draw an end to the conflict on Mars in the lead up to the launch of the Marathon itself, in addition to literally building the ship structures and we learned much more, right, that Traxxas was kind of involved with, introducing the Traxxas off-world orbiters to replace the Christ Soul orbiters. Now, step back here. Some people want me to say Christ because the acronym is CRIST, but I don't know. I just I read it as Christ, and I think they're, you know, kind of bringing resources to Mars like a Christ-like figure. I think that may have been the intention, so I'm going to say Christ. But the Traxxas off-world orbiters solved the resource issue on Mars in the 25th century, thus calming the waters for MIDA, while, like I said, simultaneously be involved with the Marathon project itself. So Traxxas, in that board of directors chat room, Traxxas is saying like, hey, we have a right to the Marathon and the colony on Tau Ceti. We should go out there on behalf of our financial future, that would be most financially beneficial to us if we as a company were responsible or had a large stake to a new frontier, an entire planet of financial opportunities, basically, which is incredibly dystopian. Anarchum, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for following. Okay, all right, so we're talking to Vulcan now with this representative for Traxxas, and we're going to learn what they had us doing. Noodlehead, I appreciate you. Okay, so let's start with this. Attention all runners, Traxxas Off-World Industries is currently seeking candidates for resource extraction on Tau Ceti 4. Nathan, I appreciate it. Okay. So I think that the resource extraction component of it is very relevant because it represents the starting point for what we see of Traxxas inside of the alpha versus the ending point. There's a level of growth in the direction they want to take the company. And here at the beginning, they're solely focused on these financial investments and gaining resources, very business-minded approach. And as they learn more throughout the priority contracts that we get to play through, that tone eventually shifts, okay? And we're going to see that change as we go through these contracts. And then at the end here of this initial interaction with Vulcan, we get, please note, applicants will not be considered Traxxas employees. And I just want to point that out because we get some very, very cool identifiers from Traxxas, and going through those ranks will definitely be a feat of strength, I think, when the full game launches. Okay, so the first missions that they have us going through. Thank you so much, Pie Boys. I appreciate you. Traxxas car. Okay, we're called Cutthroat Competition. Another kind of indicator about how they perceive the UESC as a competitor in the marketplace. Okay, first I want to read this sentence here. The Unified Earth Space Council shipping manifest you acquired indicates abundant resources remaining on Tau Ceti 4. As the UESC is our direct competitor, their interest in these resources is a threat to our bottom line. Physical retaliation between corporate and government signatories is limited by the Corporate Nonviolence Treaty. I think this Corporate Nonviolence Treaty is interesting because we're talking about specific treaties, events, moments. I think, oh man, is this going to be something that they come back to at a later point? Like what is the, or I guess from what conflict did the Corporate Nonviolence Treaty stem from? You know, if we're looking at a handful of situations and we're kind of trying to intertwine a lot of the ideas from the original games into these games. Traxxas, the AI, going rampant on Mars, related to Traxxas, the company. We could see a situation where the Battleroids, right, when the asteroid governments were fighting, the Battleroids were born out of that. Was Sekiguchi or Traxxas involved with the creation of those? And is that where the Corporate Nonviolence Treaty came from? That corporations aren't going to compete with government entities. Although we will get some language later that makes it seem like. It makes it seem like potentially the UESC, the Unified Earth Space Council itself, isn't viewed, at least by Traxxas, as a government as much as they are a competing corporation. Okay, and then we get assigned you are a non-corporate asset, our first little classification, which we'll get another one in the very next one, or maybe non-corporate asset is below classification. It's fair to say. Battleroids indeed. Jake's talking weird again. Okay. So we go on. UESC presence on Tau Ceti 4 is detrimental to Traxxas corporate KPIs. Eliminate UESC operatives, improve market conditions. Just doing straight murder behind corporate jargon, which is one of the very fun things that we get throughout the Traxxas stuff. And then after we go there and we eliminate UESC operatives, refusing to say kill, murder, violence, right? For your efforts, you have been recorded in our temporary asset database and classified as compliant. Okay, so we've now gained the status of compliant. No hop, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Which, like I said, as we go through these contracts, we'll get to advance our rank within Traxxas. Okay. Another Jake, Heretical Jake. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. No hop, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Okay, and then here at the bottom, once we get to the end of the cutthroat competition. To understand the scope of opportunity, Traxxas requests that you complete a thorough survey of both colony materials and USC supply drops. Still focused on materials, assets, supply drops, literal financial and logistical elements that could increase revenue, as opposed to the greater mystery of what's going on here. And then we get to go into equitable distribution, the next part of the priority contracts. Traxxas has confirmed receipt of your intelligence report. So now we've given them some information, we've done things for them, but we require more information for our annual financial forecast. So now they're kind of starting to get the first hints of Traxxas picking up that maybe something is going on that's bigger here than the sum of their parts, the pure financial quest to make mega corporate bigger, right? Okay, we keep going. We shoot down some UESC transport drones. The UESC communications you intercepted indicate a desire to contain natural resources from Tau Ceti 4. First kind of indication that they're catching on to UESC operations to handle whatever the anomaly or contagion is. And also we don't have a full understanding as to what is going on the planet, or at least Traxxas at least doesn't have full understanding. We will know. This is not the first time the UESC has withheld information to maintain unethical advantage. I just wanted to point out here that for Traxxas to call the UESC unethical is very, very funny when we get a evil megacorp who is conducting violence on a government. Okay, naturally the UESC will not share any of their findings willingly. To enable independent study requires samples of natural materials. Okay, so like I said, as we go on, they're slowly catching on that there's a bigger thing here occurring. They're going to start looking into it while also having us continue to conduct violence against the UESC and steal resources, right? Okay, so we hit some TADs. Pie Boys. Oh, thank you so much for the subscription. I appreciate it, Pie Boys. Thank you. Okay, so we hit some TADs. We got the signal towers. We activated them, did some damage. I know that was a pretty rough contract. I feel like Cry, maybe Ace, a few of us were there for a while, I feel like. Thank you for your efforts in combating UESC presence on Tau City 4. Our market analysts report that the UESC stock price has dropped 0.005%. I just think this is another great indicator of how dystopian this universe is, that all this violence is being conducted for what is, very clearly small, insignificant price drops in the grand scheme of things. And then also, I think as we kind of continue with Traxxas, like with a lot of like hitman stories or espionage films, you see this kind of like trivialization of violence. And there is kind of like interesting messaging within Marathon that I still have that in my thought cabinet. I'm still working on kind of what maybe the larger sentiment is there. But to turn violence into something that largely has no perceived consequence, right? That your consciousness gets zapped out of you, you go to a new body or new shell, whatever. But also kind of maybe what we're seeing within the runners themselves or some of the mental, the memory issues and stuff like that might be a consequence of the non-physical result of being involved in this kind of violence against other people or people who are in not people bodies. But I think it's just relevant to point out. And then also our status in our temporary asset database was upgraded to preferred. So we've now reached the preferred class, which sounds less like a status that you would give to a mercenary working for you and more like something you would get if you flew on an airline for an extended period of time. Please recall that the UESC is not an enemy of Traxxas, but merely a competitor. Healthy competition is essential to productive economy. Just more language that I wanted to point out, that Traxxas really sees themselves to be on the same exact level as the UESC, and my assumption would be that the citizenry of Seoul probably not feel the same way. I would imagine, right, that people on Mars, MITA members, standard human lives being had on Earth would probably look at a corporation like Traxxas and not put them on the same level or having the same goals in mind as a spacefaring government. This game has no story. Yes, and that's how we'll end the video with that, Cry. Love Hitman espionage stuff. I know, right? A lot of this is setting up for some great stuff in that realm. Okay, I want to come down here. This was a return on investment, which I believe is the second to last priority chain of contracts that we got. So we encourage ambition in its workers, search the colony for locked containers, salvage high value items was the goal that we had. And upon completing that, we got this. Your activities planet side have a destabilizing effect on UESC operations. Their costly fixation on colony history presents a unique opportunity for us to compromise their financial targets. So now, once again, we're hinting at this thing where it's like Traxxas is right on the edge. If they just go one more, what's the meme picture of the guy who's digging in the cave? And it's like, oh, if he just kept digging a little bit more, he would have hit all the diamonds kind of thing. They're like right there. They're like, okay, clearly we're, peppering the UESC, assaulting them, stealing their stuff. But it seems like they're more so focused on just, where do we go here? Stable effect, the cost saves a unique opportunity for us. Yeah, so instead of focusing on what Traxxas is doing to them financially with resources or violence, they're focusing on containing the colony itself, looking into the quarantine information that's occurring here, trying to figure out what happened. And Traxxas is right on the verge of being like, okay, wait, maybe we should look into that. Maybe we're in the wrong here. But with that financial their financial targets in the sites, they can't help but pull the trigger on that avenue of approach. Okay, so we keep increased violence on Tau City 4 destabilized. We do more violence for them. And we get, additionally, our strategists desire insight on internal UESC communications, intercept their broadcasts, and deliver your findings. Okay, so now they finally said, all right, you know what? UESC is not responding in the way that we would as a corporation if our assets were being tampered with. Let's try to figure out what's going on behind the scenes here, okay? So in the next quest, we go to AI Uplink. We go on top of these kind of wires, beams that are hanging in between. Thank you so much, Beetle. I appreciate you. We go to these wires that are in between kind of the tunnel entrance that's in the middle of the field and the main building that's kind of on AI uplink. And we're up there and we capture a signal. A UESC operative had sent a signal back to their command, and we get this line: corporate vultures sending runners to poke around in the colony's guts. The hell with command. Activate the DISIS protocol. We can't let this stuff fall into the wrong hands. Okay, so a few things. Yeah, I was on top of AI uplink. Okay, we know that this is coming from a UESC operative. All right. Now, the voice. This message was really cool, Cry. Very cool. Now, the voice was pretty gruff, pretty bulky. If in my head I was picturing, if you guys have ever played Deus Ex, who's the big, or maybe Cyberpunk would be better, Atom Smasher. I'm picturing like an Atom Smasher type guy with the gruff voice. But what I will say is that we have only ever seen one UESC runner. That is the Blue Fork Man himself. There's a potential that since that's the only UESC runner that we've ever put eyes on, love Adam Jensen, yeah, absolutely right. There's a potential that maybe this UESC operative was our Blue Fork runner from the initial trailer. Just a thought. So we know that this is UESC comms, and clearly the UESC is recognizing, all right, these mega corporations are, Blue Forkman is my brother. Okay, well, good to know, Mr. Forkman. You should give him a seat at the table at New Caloric. The UESC is identifying that corporate vultures like Traxxas are trying to interfere with their operations. They don't even know what they're getting their hands in, and don't really care because most of this is focused on financial gain. First Gamer Cat, no. So these are the priority contracts that we got from inside of the alpha. He's dead, unfortunately. Damn it. Now I want to play Deus Ex. Hey, go for it. It's always good. Okay. Okay, so we have this message being sent up there. They're aware that the corporations are trying to focus on the financial avenue of this, and they're also seemingly aware that that's going to conflict with what the UESC is doing, which the UESC seems to be containing whatever the anomaly and the contagion is. We can't let this stuff fall into the wrong hands. So two avenues of thinking here. It could be some sort of technology. It could be some sort of understanding about the anomaly itself. It could be one of the active contagion stuff that we get in the New Caloric contract line, or it could be an artifact, which is kind of what they had talked about in the original Vidoc. Artifacts could be something that we see on the Marathon map we haven't seen, and maybe that is tied to the anomaly as well. So perhaps that is what they are referring to here. Okay, and also of note, this is the only kind of direct piece of communication, I believe, that we hear from the UESC in the entirety of the alpha. All right, your recent combat data is provoking debate among our biotech analysts. The UESC is taking unprecedented measures to preserve colony relics of dubious value rather than focusing on quantitative resource extraction. All right, Traxxas, you're getting there. You're almost there. Maybe there's something more important here than resource extraction. Our financial models cannot explain their interests in a handful of ex-colonists. Now, these ex-colonists that they're referring to, I believe, are potentially some we haven't seen, but Dr. Son, who is the in the New Caloric quest line, we find her body on the south side of Data Wall in Perimeter. Maybe south side is the wrong way to describe it, but right near Holler, where you cut through that kind of cliff that comes right up to the edge of Data Wall to get to the center section of Data Wall where the take nests are in that lock room pushing up towards station. We find her with some glorious chanterelle type mushrooms glowing out of her body, or growing out of her body, not glowing out of her body, growing out of her body. And then also, I believe the other ex-colonists they could be referring to would be the colonists that we find next to the anomaly in Dire Marsh, who has the blue tentacles coming out of his head, very similar kind of to what we see in the cinematic trailer when the colonist's head explodes and blooms, I think is some language that Bife used, blooms into a beautiful purple mess. Okay, so I believe these are the colonists that they're referring to, and I believe that there's probably going to be more once obviously we get additional stuff in the full release or maybe even the beta. Okay. Dubious value obviously refers to the fact that these items would not be valuable if you're not fully aware of the anomaly and the contagion and the history of what occurred over the past 100 years, and we're solely focused on finances. All right, so we start to get the materials for Traxxas because they're going to start looking into it. The materials you recovered have inspired a pivot to our corporate objectives. Traxxas has a vested interest in obtaining more colony relics and ensuring that the UESC does not. Okay, so now they're beginning to recognize the value of these assets, potentially behind the scenes in the board of directors chat room. That's probably occurring while we're doing these runs. They're having conversations about potential alien involvement, what the anomaly could be doing, the temporal, shenanigans that are being had next to this weird anomalous structure, and the contagion itself on Tau Ceti. Thank you so much, Zen. I appreciate you. Okay. Also down here, it ends with violence is clearly your core competency. We invite you to view this assignment as a growth opportunity for further refining your specialization. And I just thought this was good to point out that in the original games, as you go through, you're playing as the security officer, potentially a Mjolnir cyborg, right? And you're being led through by various AI, eventually mostly by Durandal. And Durandal, something that the rampant AI Durandal comments on throughout the games is how you're just good for killing stuff. You're violent. Go do what you do best. Go in there and kill everybody. And kind of pseudo joking about the fact that you're being controlled by the game itself. There's a bit of a fourth wall kind of situation here where the player is literally doing what they're told, and also the character themselves are doing the bidding of an AI. They have no control, they have no autonomy, and that's kind of something they dive into in Marathon Infinity in some ways, where it's like the player themselves through this fourth wall perspective is kind of like Durandal, because they're confined by the system they've been given, which was Marathon the game. They couldn't play Marathon outside of the game itself. You're trapped to do the levels in the way that they want you to do them until someone comes along and makes ALF1, and you can do it however you want, right? And you must escape that to become God and play the new Marathon. But I just think this is a very cool little throwback to a lot of that kind of sentiment that Durandal put towards the player character in the original games. So it's very, very security officer oriented here, and I like that. And then also right after doing this, they tell us the USC has been overstepping their bounds, disrupt their operations through violent escalation. We do the more violence for them, and we get upgraded to the privileged temporary asset classification, which I love. Okay, your work has revealed discrepancies between UESC's internal and external communications. Traxxas believes the UESC is misleading investors in order to conceal an asset of greater value. Okay, so this kind of touches on two things here that I want to point out. One, it's funny that Traxxas is, pointing out the discrepancies between UESC's internal and external communications when Traxxas themselves were internally communicating about things in the 2023 ARG, like the Traxxas mining collapse, which was externally being presented a very different way by Sakaguchi. And then also, the UESC is misleading investors to conceal an asset of great value. The idea, maybe Vulcan is just referring to investors as anybody who has a stake in the UESC succeeding. Am I an investor in the United States on the basis that I pay taxes and that I am a citizen here? Perhaps that could be the language, or perhaps the structure of the government themselves. Perhaps the structure of the government itself in this world is much more corporatized in a way that is very unsettling to think about. Okay, and then what was feared in the UESC emails? Okay, so this I just wanted to refer to here. I'll click over here just so you guys can see this. This is from Okay, so in the UESC stuff from the 2023 ARG, we got these emails going back and forth between two higher level people inside the UESC about Project Goliath. And here, I'll just read this first little section. I'm worried that the entire project is backsliding. He's talking about Project Goliath, the UESC's mission to get the ship, the Equanimity, to Tau Ceti 4 to figure out what happened to the colony there. It may look like we are making progress, seeing as how we are now on Draft H. They're referring to the memoranda here that states the goals for Project Goliath in kind of a military format, but there are at least 2 more drafts being crafted in tandem, both by traditionally hardline conservative constituencies, I might add. I've caught wind of multiple conversations outside official channels that suggest that there is going to be a push to include ships that are scheduled to be mothballed post-launch date. It goes into it a little bit deeper here, and they even talk about the Warhawks, I think is the word that they use. But the UESC has been worried, and these emails are 2795, so 98 years prior to the events that we're playing through in the game. The UESC is talking about how it seems a little to me like maybe this whole mission is being latched onto by outside interests and corporations, and obviously that is coming to fruition in the as we see in the Traxxas priority contracts. Initially, Traxxas went to Tau Ceti to reclaim the colony and its resources to be a competition wherever the UESC is. Yes, Arwen, exactly. Yeah, so they knew everybody knew, right? Everyone knew Traxxas or the UESC is making a push. They're going to do Project Goliath to get to Tau Ceti, and now we're all going to go. So yeah, Traxxas is here. And we talked about a little bit earlier that Traxxas feels like they have a right to a lot of the resources here on the basis that they put a lot of work into the initial kind of push to get the Marathon mission out the door by resolving conflicts on Mars and building the ship itself. A says, when you talk about communication, are the AI talking to investors on Earth and then replying to Tau Ceti, or are there time gaps between runs? I believe that this communication is happening in real time, and I believe that the AI are communicating with people in Sol. That could technically be incorrect, but we're going to go over something a little bit later on. I believe in I think it's in the end of the Traxxas priority contracts that indicates to me that our communication systems might be much more advanced than what you would think if you were going off the basis that in the G4 sunbathing level of Marathon 1, it's going to take 90 something years for the message that we send from the Marathon to get back to Earth. I believe that these things are happening in real time to the season itself. Obviously, there's a lot of questions about time and the nature of time in Marathon right now that we will get into at the end of everything, but yes, I believe they're happening in real time, and I don't think there's big time gaps between runs. No. Okay, and then it ends with, be advised, by receiving this message, you have entered into a legally binding non-disclosure agreement with Traxxas Offworld Industry. This is the exact language that Bungie utilized on me when I got to do the playtest a little bit early. Any breach in confidentiality will result in consequences with the Asset Compliance Department, and I just think this is more very cool company professional jargon for Hit Squad. The Asset Compliance Department, they're going to make you comply, right? If you're a runner who decides to break bad, okay? Which might be why White Rabbit isn't around right now. Maybe White Rabbit is on the run and the Asset Compliance Department of Traxxas is after them. I do think it could be, just as a little bit of a side note, what if other runners later on, you can't do certain contracts with them equipped because the companies won't work with them? It would be interesting to see if White Rabbit was in a situation like that with Traxxas. First Gamercat, so are all these different factions companies sending ships to Tau Ceti, or are the matter transfers able to go all the way there? I just think it's kind of funny how this is just able to happen when the UESC is like a government figure, right? Yeah, okay, so we don't know for certain, but the 2023 ARG indicates that there are multiple ships traveling there. The Mida zine also kind of ends with kind of stating that, there's going to be multiple paths out to Tau Ceti. My thought process is that there are multiple ships who took stuff there, that each major company and corporation that we are interacting with does have some sort of physical presence in Tau Ceti, but some of that could be walked back or incorrect if we learn stuff later on currently. And are the matter transfers able to go all the way there? Like I said, we're going to get into that here in a minute. There's going to be something I want to talk about later on. I believe that it's in the I believe that it's inside of the priority contracts for Traxxas, but it might be New Caloric, but we'll see. Raisin, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Stranded rogue runners planet side that are disconnected from the corpo servers. That would be excellent, Arwen. And I just think it's kind of funny how this is able to happen when the UESC is like a government figure. Yes, but the UESC as a government figure was destabilized by how much they relied on mega corporations to conduct the marathon mission themselves. They're running on Cyber Acme computer systems, Traxxas ships themselves, and new caloric infrastructure and agricultural resources. So yes, they're powerful, but Traxxas even says very bluntly in the 2023 ARG that they feel like they are just as strong and capable as the UESC. So there's no illusion in the minds of the mega corporations that the true power lies with whoever has, the most successful corporate pull or in the marketplace, right? The marketplace is the key for them. Okay, coming down here, we get to unsanctioned hostilities, which is the final section of priority contracts that we get. So we'll start with this. The UESC is hiding a major discovery on Tau 4. Now Traxxas has entirely caught on to, hey, okay, there's something deeper here than a bunch of resources on a lost human colony that we sent out, hundreds of years ago, right? Requisition colony relics from UESC secured stockpiles they're going to figure out. Okay, our corporate biotech analysts have reviewed your findings. Also, I just before we keep going, biotech analyst has been referenced twice now. They talked about biotech, and I think that it's very relevant, right, that we're talking about biotech, this biology and this technology thing, because what we learn about the virus later on in the new caloric priority contracts does indicate that this is something that affects both biological things and synthetic or technology itself. Okay, have reviewed your findings. Interestingly, they've identified a significant delta between the visible age of the samples and their spectral carbon dating results. In other words, the tests indicate the samples are older than they appear. And we will learn inside of the we'll learn later on in this contract that the anomaly is creating some temporal shenanigans within it. Okay, so we're time itself is being distorted in ways that are very non-linear and confusing, and the items that they're pulling off Tau Ceti itself is, they're not making sense. The carbon dating, what they're doing here is not tied to the actual date that these things or how old these items should be. Okay, Traxxas requires material samples for further testing, so we do that. We give them the samples. Received your material samples. Our analysts are greatly interested in the possibility of temporal distortion on Tau Ceti 4. We've identified Dire Marsh as a key area for the procurement of Class C anomalous materials. Please collect Class C anomalous materials. Definition pending from Dire Marsh. Obviously, if you've played Dire Marsh, a huge anomaly, this structure that is this pinkish oil spill looking wall cuts through the middle of it. Okay, we're going to learn more about that when we get recording here in a second, but gravity is kind of halted there. Things are frozen floating in the air. It's opaque, you can't really see to it. It makes these very strange noises, and when you get close to it, your runner HUD even starts to kind of distort, so you're hearing these weird noises and you're getting these weird visual aberrations. Arwen says the ships the Corpo sent was after Leela's distress signal arrived and the launch of the Equanimity, right? There's a few questions, but let me finish this, and we're going to talk about the communication stuff. I don't know for certain. I have some ideas, though. I love the big red arrow pointing to your shirt. Is that like a secret code? No, this is a very nice shirt, though. But I will read. There's a little word down there that I will read. Is this new? Said, what's he going on about? That's how I told Kimmy I said hi. Tau Ceti Jelly Factory. Okay. All right. So we've now called this Class C anomalous material, which is, I believe, a gold material. I'll probably, in the video version of this, put a picture of the gold material. I believe it's called, some sort of anomalous material, right? That's kind of has alloy properties maybe and biological properties. And I believe that that's what they're referring to generally in here. So we're then asked to go get more of the materials, and we have to go test out 3 locations next to the anomaly on Dire Marsh. And that's when we get the next recording, which is very, very good, from a colonist who was unfortunate enough to seem to have the task to go check out this anomaly, right? All right, so we walk over and he's floating next to the wall. Later when we're going through the gameplay side of things, we'll point that out. But he's floating next to the anomaly wall, and his head has these blue tentacles coming out of it, and he seems to have been caught in whatever this place was. The recording plays like this. Begin recording. Time is 0500. I've reached the anomaly site. Temporal abnormalities persist. Begin recording. Abort mission. 0500. Time is 0500. Time is 0500. Restrict all contact with the anomaly. I've reached the anomaly site. I repeat, abort. Temporal abnormalities persist. Abort. Okay? So the recording itself that we are gathering, right, was recorded in a non-linear order. That there's something literal and physical occurring here that is distorting the reality of time in such a way that it can even be monitored, recorded, and tracked by an outside party. So that outside recording device was able to record in order the experience of the individual inside the anomaly, but that individual is not experiencing time in this linear fashion while they're exposed to it. Your investigations have revealed groundbreaking temporal aberrations. This is after we deliver the news back to Traxxas after we looked into the anomaly, linked to what the colonists refer to as the anomaly. Due to the significance of your findings, this contract has been upgraded to restriction level Umbra. And just for reference, the Umbra, it's Latin for shadow, is the innermost and darkest part of a shadow where the light source is completely blocked by the occluding body. An observer within the Umbra, thank you, Jaws, I appreciate you. An observer within the Umbra experiences a total occultation. So this is the darkest of the dark ops. This is Black Ops 6 level top secret information. This is now Umbra stuff. Of the highest importance, we're talking about alien time distortion technology that for a corporation would represent potentially infinite revenue. If you have the ability to displace time, think about the financial gains that you could make. Okay. Normally, Umbra contracts are outside the clearance level of a privileged asset. However, there is no qualified asset available for this contract. I want to point it out here. Where's White Rabbit? White Rabbit, we know, was operating with Traxxas in the 2023 ARG. We get the Traxxas board directors chat room once again that talks about hiring White Rabbit, Brill, and Patch to do the job that we see them doing in the initial trailer where they snipe the UESC Blue Fork runner. Rest in peace, Blue Fork. And this kind of saying White Rabbit is gone, no longer working with Traxxas, it seems, because you would think that if White Rabbit was planetside conducting that operation very early on in May of 2893, that by this point, potentially what we would be seeing here in September of 2893 would be she would still be involved with, and be available to take on contracts like that. But for some reason, White Rabbit is missing. I think there might be some really cool narrative stuff involved with that. Authorization was granted for us to take part in this. Informants alerted Traxxas to the presence of an elite UESC unit on Tau Ceti 4. Obtain that unit's data core. Possibly this informant could be one of the UESC assets that are inside the Rage Terminal. So we got an HR section, I believe, of the UESC Rage Terminal inside of the ARG that just happened this year. And we got a list of names. Bernard Strauss was in there. There were a few other ones I think people had tried when they were trying to do the UESC login and stuff like this. But just for future reference, whoever this insider, this informant is that Traxxas had, is somebody who's most likely internal to the UESC, and since we already have a list of names of people in the UESC, I'm willing to bet it's going to be one of them. So when we're kind of looking at stuff later on and we get to beta and stuff like this and the release of the game, we'll keep our eye on that list of names. All right, so we do that. We take out this elite UESC unit and we get the stuff from them, and we give it back to Traxxas. We have received the UESC data core. Due to the sensitive nature of your findings, your contract has been flagged and is currently being reevaluated. Q number 90,892, which I guess could be a long time or a very short time. I don't know how many orders are, or how many numbers in this queue are knocked off by these powerful megacorp AIs, but you would think that maybe this is indicating that's going to be a little bit amount of time. I would assume that by September 23rd will be number one in the queue. That is my guess, right, by the release date.
Your involvement in this contract has been suspended. The sensitivity of your finding on Tau City 4 prompted significant internal restructuring and quarterly goals realignment. It is funny that they're kind of, now that they've terminated us, even though we went from a place where we saw that they were very focused on the financial elements of this to them discovering that there's a larger situation occurring here that has to do with time travel and aliens and contagion. They kind of let us in. We were in this Umbra class, and now we're kind of on the backside. They're giving us all this information, and then now we're back to, okay, wait, you flew a little too close to the sun, and we're just looking at our quarterly goals realignment. So we'll do this. Elster says, saw a Reddit post saying you might now be able to get friend codes for the alpha. Anyone with the alpha role in the official Discord down to fact check. Thank you so much, Elster, for putting that here. If that is true, hopefully we can get a lot of people sending others that way. Thank you. Okay. So yeah, now that we're on the outside of things and our access has been revoked, we're just focusing on our quarterly goals realignment, right? Standard procedure in the event of a suspension requires the deployment of our asset redaction committee, asset redaction committee, also another word for hit squad, I believe. So maybe we got some Traxxas baddies coming for us. But due to your satisfactory record and after numerous discussions, luckily with the board, I successfully argued to retain your services. So Vulcan has saved us. Vulcan is a friend to us runners, at least for now. Your status in the temporary asset database has been set to undefined. Undefined, thank you for that. We appreciate you, the one and only undefined here in the chat. That's what we get set to. We will contact you during the next fiscal cycle, and I believe the next fiscal cycle will be the beta, which is what this beautiful red arrow is pointing to. Not my beautiful, lovely shirt that my wife got me, although I do think it is very nice. Okay, so that the alpha, you can't share if you have the alpha stuff on the Discord. You are not eligible to generate invite links at this time. Gotcha. Okay, cool beans. All right, so that takes us to the end of what we got from Traxxas. Obviously, I think that, as I said many times, I think that what they're setting up here is that Traxxas is moving from this position of a company who is kind of entering this maybe with less knowledge than we would have assumed. THC Smoothie, excellent name. Thank you for following. I appreciate you. Maybe a little bit less knowledge than what we previously would have assumed. I would have thought that maybe they had some more insider information, that if the UESC was already conducting operations that were more in line with gathering these anomalous materials, that Traxxas themselves might actually already be ahead of that. But it seems like Vulcan, who we know is at the highest level of information based off their access to the board of directors exactly, isn't structuring their maneuvers around this idea. Sorry, I think my neighbor's dogs are barking like crazy. They're structuring it still around corporate gain and their financial investments and trying to gather resources. And what we discover here is that as they kind of catch on to the deeper stuff that might be occurring here at Tau City 4, they're beginning to hone in on the potential revenue that could be drawn from these aliens and anomalous structures in temporal, abstraction. Okay. And so they're going to slowly shift to caring more about that. And their sinister, cold, professional jargon might be very daunting in the face of some of these very high concept and scary things that are actually occurring on Tau Ceti. And they intend to take full advantage of involving themselves with all of that. Okay. So we got to the end of Traxxas. I think this is a good point. Does anybody have any thoughts? Anything you think I missed? Any other ideas? I would love to hear it. We'll give it a second just to make sure. A quick little water break. Check the Discord. You can ask for friend codes, but you're not guaranteed. Oh, okay. Final wave of codes is tomorrow. Thank you, GamerCat. Thank you. Thinking on their feet and adapting. Exactly, Arwen. Yes. It seems that they are. Run-in, how's it going? Emblem? I don't know if there's an emblem in the Discord. I'm not tracking. Wants to beg to get me in for the last few days. I have asked for additional codes and I have not gotten anything yet. There's a post in Alpha announcements. Okay. Direct message the Marathon Discord account for the chance to receive priority access link. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Does Traxxas say anything about a solo mode? No. They do not. Okay. Thank you so much, Crone Co. I appreciate you. Oh, Shin got a code. Okay. I appreciate you, Crow. Okay, so maybe we got to get these messages going. Let me know if you guys have more success. All right, if anybody doesn't have any ideas about anything else, wants to go over here. What about Glitch's chess, September 9th, 3405? That is a very, very good point. So we understand that there's some time shenanigans occurring. I don't know if that is a red herring, if it means something else, if it's I believe was it slashes or periods? It seems very much like a date format, right? Potentially, maybe the temporal distortions that are occurring here have sucked everybody who's come to Tau Ceti into it, and maybe everything that's happened and is going to happen on Tau Ceti is kind of occurring on top of each other in a very strange way. So I almost wonder if this might incorporate the events of the original trilogy into what's actively occurring, that what we see in game later on. It's hard to say. It feels so much like a date that it would be a kind of crazy rug pull for them to just say, actually, you're 500 years off of what you think you're doing right now. What if the AI are acting on their own, like they were given a directive and backed up directive based on what they found? Yes. Oh, I didn't see it must be in the new Caloric one that we're going to go over next, but there is a reference to an FTL network that makes it seem like humanity has some sort of faster than light travel. Is that physical objects? Is it data? I don't know, but there is a reference to that inside of the priority contracts. So that could be how they're communicating. And it could be that it's a directive and a backup directive based on what they found. But just based off Vulcan saying that they're talking directly to board of directors, although we have theorized in the past that the board of directors are just personality constructs of the AI Traxxas for themselves, split up into different assets. So if that's the case, they could all just be on board. Why there was a slow change to their stance. They edited the message, assuming no more of the final wave tomorrow. Interesting. Okay, and Elster is saying the messages apparently said you had to DM the Marathon dev team account. Now they delete and replace it with a void emoji. Huh. Okay. Very strange. Arwood says the UESC on Tau Ceti are technologically behind the other corpse ray, since the equanimity looks like took like 100 years to arrive there. Well, assumedly, it seems like they all got there around the same time. I would assume that they're a little bit behind, and we kind of can confirm that based off the 2023 ARG, because we know that Traxxas has access to the S-Class Biomata, and that Sekaguchi was actively hiding that from the UESC in their internal emails with Yoshido Tamura. But in terms of like it creating some sort of drastic time difference for them, it seems like all the ships are getting there around the same time, especially considering they're trying to resolve these same conflicts kind of on top of each other. Like New Caloric is looking into the same time as Traxxas is, seemingly the same time that UESC is, given what we heard about the Dices protocol from the UESC operative. Corporate vultures sending runners to poke around the colony's guts. The hell with command, activate the Dices protocol. We can't let this stuff into the wrong hands. So like, oh, no worries at all, Elsa. You're not interrupting. I appreciate it. If more people can get codes, I would love that. I want everyone to be able to play. I appreciate it. Sent robots and giant space stations that are industrial 3D printers and very few, if any, humans. Guessing it's FTL comms. Good point, Soviet. Yeah. Can I still DM? Go for it. Go for it. Sent drones, basically. Yeah, I believe that's a fair perspective, I think. All right, we're gonna move on to the new caloric priority contracts next, which I have a little bit more to say about, as I love Gaius. Gaius is the AI agent that we get to speak with. New caloric. He's proper and kind and human in a way that is very fun to me, and I appreciate a lot of his language as we go through new caloric contracts. New caloric, we'll see kind of here in a minute how they position themselves, but I had a lot of kind of impact on the colony. It's printed on all the structures. They're making food. They're dealing with agriculture. They're dealing with a lot of science that seems to push forward the survivability of the human race. So we'll learn about more as we go on. But we're going to start with our introduction that we get to new caloric. And AI is the perfect corporate puppet master of the show going on down on Tau Ceti 4. Very true, Soviet. Very true. I am Gaius, contacting you on behalf of New Caloric Agricultural. You have crawled through the detritus of Tau Ceti. And so detritus, by definition, is just waste or debris of any kind. But I also think that it's interesting that in biology, detritus is organic matter made up of the decomposing remains of organisms and plants and also feces. Detritus usually hosts communities of microorganisms that colonize and decompose it. Gaius, throughout a lot of the interactions that we have with them, utilize this kind of double speak where they're using language in this really specific way to where I think it can have this dual meaning where they're both talking about literally this is now trash on the planet because it's just wasted and deteriorated structures, but also, you know, they're focused on the agriculture and the biological aspects of Tau Ceti itself. And this is literally decomposing remains of an organism in the larger sense that a colony is an organism with a bunch of different moving parts that try to achieve a goal. And it hosts communities of microorganisms organisms that colonize and decompose it. I think this is just a very poetic kind of thing, and he does a lot of language like this that I tried to pick out of here just to point out. What did you see stamped on buildings, furnishing, and food? New caloric product numbers. We had a major stake in the original colony mission, and we must know why it failed. Okay, so where Traxxas's goal is to create financial prosperity for their company and their investors, and the UESC's goal is to continue to have authority over a governmental authority over humanity all throughout the known universe. New Caloric's goal is to find out why the colony failed, and we'll find out later on to basically increase the survivability of humanity. The colony's economic loss is mundane, opposite sentiment to Traxxas. The setback to human survival, I just want to say good guy Gaius here to point out how good of a dude he is. The setback to human survival is profound. Begin by investigating the mundane, the colony's first major expansion. And this sees us going into Perimeter. And so this does give us a kind of historical context to Perimeter itself. Obviously, the name Perimeter makes it sound like it's on the very outskirts of the colonized area on Tau Ceti 4, and here it's directly called the colony's first major expansion, which is kind of why maybe it's a little bit offset and removed from other structures, and we can't see as much off in the distance, except a few of those large balloon pillars that we see going up to the sky, which seem like some sort of connectivity to what's in orbit maybe, or potentially weather balloons, some sort of advanced monitoring system for the atmosphere on the super Earth, but we don't see a lot of like clearly identified structures, whereas on Marsh it does kind of feel like, you know, you look over into the marsh plains where there's the water over towards field maintenance, and you see these round kind of halo rain style structures. It seems like there is more close by to Marsh as opposed to Perimeter, which does truly seem to be on the outskirts of what is occurring. Ace Traveler says that sounds like a mushroom. Oh, it all comes back to the mushrooms, right? It all comes back to the mushrooms. All right. The first set of contracts we get, it's called for a better tomorrow. All right, building a better tomorrow is impossible without understanding yesterday's failures. And this is where we get our first log from Dr. Son. Dr. Son, principal geologist. We found water pockets, loose sediment, and that ghoulish radiation. But the admins still want to expand. Why brain scientists if you don't listen to us? Okay, so assumedly, she's talking about Perimeter's location itself. Like, hey, we're trying to expand. This is our first kind of major expansion of the colony. We're going out farther where we haven't been. And Dr. Son is saying here, I'm a principal geologist, and we have some insane radiation readings. Like, there's something here already on Tau Ceti. Now, going back, and we've talked about it many times, one of the big things from Marathon 1 is that there was a secret message written on one of the maps that said the Yara were at Tau Ceti. Potentially there is some sort of alien sentience, life, or technology that was here prior to human arrival. And Dr. Son pointing out here that during this expansion, they were running into this radiation, but kind of being told, hey, that doesn't matter, we're going to keep pushing. That could indicate that what we're seeing with the anomaly and what we're seeing with the contagion and the virus and all this stuff is not necessarily tied to a force fit biological weapon or anything to do with the invasion at all. Potentially this is something else. And I would also like to point out that what we're hearing from Dr. Son, unlike what we're hearing from the UESC operative who we got from AI Uplink in the Traxxas contracts, that's occurring like much closer to, that's a runner, right? That's closer to runner operations time. But what Dr. Son is experiencing, this seems like it was much closer to the beginning of the foundation of the colony. So maybe in the 2790s or the late 2780s, where they're doing their first expansion, they're looking into what they're going to do with this colony. Like, obviously, I don't feel like you would be doing an expansion after the events that we see play out in 2794 or in 2800, where it seems like the colony's falling and dealing with anomalies and all this craziness. Even the colonist that we saw who was next to the anomaly, seems like what we're being told is that that's going to occur after the 2820s date that we get in the cinematic, when we see the anomaly appearing by the colonists who didn't seem to be aware of what it was. And you would think that he would be if that's something that had been occurring. All right. So the expansion efforts most likely occurred prior to the 2794 attack. Mr. Swag Boss, thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate you. Thank you. The colonists knew they did not have the resources to sustain rapid expansion, yet they still made the attempt. Humanity's reach ever extends its grasp. And I just want to say here, this is good AI poetry and an early sign of rampancy, possibly, from the effects of Tau 74. We see that his language is pretty consistent, and this could be a personality thing. But as we keep going, we'll see that Gaius will talk more in kind of this metaphor. He's not making as many direct statements as he is like, and grasp is a word that comes up as well. He's like kind of referring to a more metaphorical idea that humanity is trying to achieve something. And that language might be consistent with rampancy because he's kind of adopting more abstract thoughts and metaphor, where, he even points out earlier, right, that AI, or maybe it comes just a little bit after this actually, but eventually it's pointed out, like, that's the point, is that AI and humans are not competitors. Like, an AI does not need the resources that a human does, so that's why they're sent there to be analytical. They're not here to look at the subjective things, they look at the quantitative aspect of things, and yet he is kind of engaging in this metaphorical discussion to explain what's occurring. Okay, our best agricultural experts went with them. Here they're talking about when the marathon left Seoul, our best agricultural experts went with them. I need any botany data they left behind. Another way that New Caloric contributed to the success of the marathon mission. Maraham, I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Contributed to the success of the marathon mission itself. And then we get down here. Scientists who land on Tau 74 gone. They want us to go get their knowledge from the botany reports. On Earth, mutations become noticeable over decades and centuries. So now we've got the botany reports from Tau 74. If the botany report is accurate, Tau Ceti flora mutates within months. The implications for sustainable agriculture are unnerving. Okay, so obviously it would be very difficult if your job is to grow crops and sustain a food source for the colony if the crops themselves are genetically engineered and having to survive on these conditions so that they are edible by humans on a planet that is not Earth. If every few months there is a new virus or organism that is competing for the same resources that the flora need to survive. The famine of the 2160s was a watershed moment for humanity and New Caloric. Stark reality set in. We avoided extinction by conquering the inefficiencies that caused mass starvation. Here we see Gaius talking about how impactful historically New Caloric has been. The implication. Yes, Rage. So they've clearly been around. They're setting them up very similar to how they set up Sakaguchi and Traxxas in the 2023 ARG as something that was kind of instilled into the fabric of a lot of events that we haven't really gotten a full picture of, okay? But I also think it's interesting to point out that Gaius is saying here that New Caloric conquered mass starvation prior to the resource issues on Mars in the 25th century. So is this a corporation kind of talking themselves up, or does this paint the situation in the 25th century on Mars as way more devious than what it appeared at first. Because if New Caloric truly in 2160s, right, like, hey, we have solved the issue of human starvation, we have a way to produce food and caloric energy for humans that will eradicate food insecurity for humanity, right? That is, let's think here, 250 years prior to Martians starving on Mars. In 2442, the Mizraia massacre occurred. The Mizraia massacre was at a food bank. It was at, they're handing out resources to starving Martians because people did not have enough resources on Mars to survive. So for New Caloric to say that, they were able to kind of conquer the inefficiencies that caused mass starvation, 250 years earlier, it kind of makes it seem like the starvation on Mars was intentional or just truly a lack of caring about the individuals there at all, which really paints the UESC in a very, very bad light, especially because if you're, establishing colonies, you kind of have a duty to ensure their success in many regards, right? Be liberal with what you consider edible. I just thought this was a funny line as we go through the colony to find edible items. All right, the next set of contracts we got were called A Survivable Future. We're going to piece together what remains of weather and crop yield data, cross-reference that with growing conditions of edible fungi. Always comes back to the fungi. A contagion in the food supply might explain the colony's collapse. Then we get some more data, locate the colony support AI's automated logs, and we give that to New Caloric. And Gaius tells us that the logs show troubling evidence of systemic AI failure. We sent AI with the colonists, as I was talking about earlier, specifically as a safety net. Minds immune to biological stressors. Artificial intelligence does not eat, it does not starve, does not compete with humans for survival resources. Yet, the support AI deteriorated just like the colonists. They vanished as inexplicably as the colonists did. So now we're learning that there is this contagion. There is something occurring here. In Traxxas, we're learning about the anomaly. Eventually, we're going to learn about how these things are intertwined, right? Okay. But right now we're pointing out that the AI and humans failed. And the reason why they were paired up to conduct the mission of colonizing this structure is because they could work in tandem without impeding on each other's needs generally. Okay. Next, we were told to access AI metadata to ascertain the extent of their corruption. We give that back to New Caloric. We learned that the colony mission was woefully underprepared from Gaius's perspective, given the difficulties they've experienced. Tau Study 4 had gravity, atmosphere, and growing conditions for Earth-based life. If even this colony failed, then the stars elude humanity's grasp for now. More poetry, speaking in metaphor. I just think it's interesting to point out, especially because later on we're going to see Gaius recompiling themselves or re-establishing their matrix and experiencing some things that hint that they might be having early stage rampancy as well. Then Gaius lets us know that while you're on the surface, conduct a small experiment on the mega centoniani or we can say it, cetonionii, which is the the scientific name for the ticks. I think I will stick with ticks for now. Okay. Then they have us go and destroy some drones because why not? They're Megacorp. They hate it. And okay, this is the next important line that we get from Gaius. I concede Traxxas's improvements to FTL infrastructure, but data still travels better than tissue. So humanity does have some sort of FTL travel, but with limitations. What is the communication time frame with Soul? This is a huge question. Elster, exhausted, going to switch on my laptop so I get in bed, fall asleep during your stream, catch up with the VOD. Absolutely, Elster. Thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate you. Have a good night. Nifty, how's it going? Okay, so this is a pretty big piece of information that we're getting here, because one of the larger questions from the 2023 ARG was, hey, it's 2795. How did the UESC know? Thank you so much, Scarab. I appreciate you. How did the UESC know that the colony was already in such a state that they'd to send a additional mission out there at this point when, once again, on G4 Sunbathing, we're sending a message that isn't going to get to Soul for 90-something years, okay? So the FTL advancements in data or individuals or physical things could explain that. Okay, if we had some sort of receptive communication technology that would allow us to reach out and get that message significantly faster, it would make sense that the UESC would have this information. And the fact that that's tied to Traxxas networks would also explain how they had like a pretty good idea that this push out to Tau Ceti was going to occur potentially back then to prep for these operations. Okay, I do think, as we were talking about in the chat earlier, and Ace and someone else was referencing it, it does seem like data travels faster, but it doesn't seem to me like the consciousness of the runners are stored in Sol. It seems like they are here. I mean, we're getting this even in the cinematic. We're seeing them kind of on board this structure that feels like a ship. You know, I think it's in orbit of Tau Ceti. Also, their shells are physically teleporting from planet side to a ship. It seems that's what my expectation is. That's what I believe. But this does, like, because we don't know the exact specifications of this technology, there could be a lot more at play here than we would suspect. And the 2023 OG did talk about a faster route to Tau Ceti was going to become available. So potentially that could be these FTL shenanigans in a much more substantial physical form or a ship itself. Next, they had us find the equipment among abandoned laboratories, exfil with it intact. Okay, as they took stock of the facts, and the colonists and their support AI showed this mental deterioration before vanishing. Okay, Tau Ceti's flora and fauna exhibit rapid mutation compared to their Earth counterparts. Finally, a novel contagion reduced the colony's food supply. Tidy's explanation treats this contagion as the root cause for other failures. However, a contagion that could affect so many species, not to mention AI, defies known biology. Obviously here, SFIT are an unknown biology at the intersection of organic and synthetic life. So with the knowledge of the fungal four from Marathon 2 that was a concept that was going to be included in there, but it ultimately wasn't. It was a virus that was intertwined with a fungal life form from Lahuan, and it would infect and turn the four into these fungal zombies. That was not included. Eventually, that concept became the Flood. Robert McLeese, I believe, worked on that in Halo. Perhaps that's not exactly how it happened, but very similar kind of ideas appearing over there, with Robert McLeese being the kind of main guy in between both. Svit Black Plague, yes, Sussel Toes, exactly. All right. We keep giving Gaius some information here. I just want to point out, it says the UESC discovered an active contagion sample from the colony era. And I think it's interesting to note here, how are they defining the colony era? Assumedly, the UESC, has more access or better access to the colony's systems and data that is stored here. Does that colony era encompass from when they got there in the late, are we talking like everything prior to 2794 while the Marathon was in Tau Ceti? Right? We're talking late 2700s. Are we talking about everything from late 2700s to 2826, where assumedly our kind of last colony stuff cuts off as the anomaly takes over, encompasses, and everybody disappears? What is this colony era? Now, Gaius is kind of saying it to us like, yeah, the colony era, right? So maybe it's just colloquial. Maybe this is like something that's commonly known across people. Maybe it's like, oh, the colony era from like when the Marathon was supposed to get here till now, since the colony has been created. But an active contagion sample would be kind of relevant, to know the kind of exact time frame that we're working on. My assumption would be that we're looking at something past 2812 when we first see it appear and pop up in the cinematic trailer with the colonist who's throwing up. We get a more potent sample of the contagion. We give it to Gaius, and he appreciates our diligence. The contagion sample does not affect species from Earth and Tau Ceti. The contagion sample does affect species from Earth and Tau Ceti. For Tau Ceti organisms, the contagion accelerates natural rates of mutations. For Earth organisms, the effects are wildly varied. So we finally learned that the contagion itself is what was causing these advanced mutations. It's not a consequence necessarily of life on Tau Ceti, that this is the natural rate of mutation for life generally here, but that this contagion that was introduced at some point, most likely after the colonists appear, or at least re-emerged or emerged for the first time after the colonists appeared, or humans popped up on Tau Ceti, is here, and it is having this effect, where for humans, it seems like maybe potentially we're getting sick, dying, going crazy. For AI, you know, they're experiencing rampancy, but for Tau Ceti organisms, it's increasing the rate of evolution. They're having more mutations, and ultimately that's creating a very difficult environment for humans to survive in. In Marathon, it's the flood. Yeah, the flood with a PH. Thank you, Rage. All right. And then the phenomenon exceeds the bounds of known biology, but to paraphrase from literature... Whoops, sorry, guys. We'll go down here. I got a little crazy way of my finger wagging. But to paraphrase from literature, eliminate all other factors, and the one which remains must be the truth. It's a little bit of Might is Right. So we're talking late 1900s novel that kind of focuses on this kind of evil concept, right? That the strongest organisms or the strongest people are the ones who get to determine right and wrong based on the fact that they survived and the other party is not there to tell the truth. So I think Gaius is rightly pointing out here kind of the harsh nature of our reality, surviving on an alien planet while simultaneously interweaving some more kind of poetic metaphor. Like I said, potentially indicating that he's entering into this melancholy phase of rampancy, or that first phase. Disabling new caloric heuristics, partitioning analysis matrix, Tau Ceti. Please be patient with slower processing times. Tau Ceti proves that digitized minds are not infallible, and I am no exception. I removed as many assumptions as possible and rebooted from a clean slate. Moving forward, we do not know whether the contagion persists on Tau Ceti. Organic sampling should provide the answer. And here, guys, is yes, resetting themselves as outlined by Strauss in that pre-launch letter that we read earlier. All right, so next we get committed to containment. So here we're going to learn about the colonists' mission to quarantine whatever this contagion was, this virus that was occurring throughout the colony and causing all of this loss of life, right? The inability to produce food, the viral effects, and obviously the AI were experiencing these things as well, okay? So we get our next message from Dr. Song when we find her body dead outside the data wall, laying with some glorious, like I said, chanterelles growing off her. She says, or her log says, "This is Dr. Song, dying far from home. I did it. I found it. Even if it found me later, you can colonize my blood and liquefy my bones, but I figured you out." Okay, so here we see Dr. Song directly talking about this contagion or the virus or the organism, right, that is causing all these issues on Tau Ceti. But she's not talking about it as like a life form, not in the same way that we would talk about a virus on Earth, like the flu, not in the same way that we would talk about black mold in the effect that it can have us, but almost as if it is a sentient creature that is causing this virus. Obviously, we know that the Sphit are involved here on Tau Ceti in some way. We know that there is an alien presence, and whatever this contagion is, whatever its origin is, it's being guided. It has a mission. It feels like they're implying that they are aware of what is occurring. And Dr. Song absolutely is a badass, Elster. Absolutely, Dr. Song's a badass. And one of the hardest lines, I think, in all of Marathon is, "You can colonize my blood and liquefy my bones, but I figured you out." And also this indicates that if Dr. Song figured it out, it is possible to understand, and most likely the answer is here. And we too will figure out what the hell is going on in Marathon. The scientist's body shows clear evidence of contagion, while its surroundings do not. This is not the blind grasping of simple life. Talking about grasping a lot here from Gaius, just pointing that out, because he continues to reiterate on this idea that humanity's goals are something that they're reaching out and grasping for. And I just think that's very relevant in terms of how he perceives humanity, and also how he perceives the goal of sustaining and continuing to elevate life. With a recalibrated analysis matrix, I conclude the contagion's behavior is intentional and directed, hostile. The colonists' erratic paranoia was justified. A few years too late to tell them since they're dead, but I'm sure they would love that. Okay, then we discover if the quarantine tips did any good. We get the information. We give it to Gaius. Quarantine measures slowed the contagion spread, but these failed when the medical AI was compromised. So now we had to go and see what was going on with the medical AI and see if they sent out a distress signal. They knew of their impending demise and they tried to reach out for help. The colonists did, but the signal was never sent. Okay, so the distress signal was only the first message. When we get that signal information back to Gaius, it tells us it was only the first message. Find any others and prioritize messages with scientific value. Even if the contagion is relatively dormant now, it could recur in the future. And I think it's important that he's saying relatively dormant because over top of the head of the scientist in the cinematic trailer, we see these white floating spores while he's throwing up. We see a lot of these spores all over the games coming from trees and bushes and fungus, especially. I think there's a really good one on top of AI Uplink that has these white spores just flowing out of it. And I think that's a really good example of how this contagion was maybe latching on to the flora, the fauna, the fungus inside of Tau Ceti and utilizing the natural world as its mechanism of delivery by any means possible. And then also on perimeter, we see that the colonists responded to this by wrapping up the trees in these big bags with this large forklift looking thing. We'll show that when we go through and we look at the in-game stuff. To kind of try to conceal and quarantine the infected trees. And obviously, Gaius is pointing out that this was directed. They meant to do it. The bag trees were simply quarantined. Yes, absolutely. Okay. So then we get the full contents of the report, the last message, and Gaius analyzes it. Facing imminent peril with limited resources, I expected the colonists to prioritize survival over science. They defied my expectations. Their scientists even isolated a potential contagion source. Find the source using any means at your disposal. No cost is too high. Find their sample and ensure it enters new caloric custody. Okay, so we go and we find the sample, and the sample was related to the anomaly. So now we know that the anomaly, this temporal, time manipulating physical structure that's defying the laws of physics, is tied to the contagion itself. And that means that the contagion and the anomaly are a living thing, some sort of organism, or being controlled by an organism and directly doing what is occurring on the colony intentionally. Okay. The sample's metaspectrograph matches the energy field known as the anomaly. Conclusion: the anomaly is likely the root cause of the contagion. May have caused the breakdowns in the colony and AI, though that investigation is incomplete. Update analysis matrix, Tau Ceti, adjust physics constants. I find it taxing to rewrite my own mental substrate. Okay, I'm just gonna pause here. This is another thing where he's talking in this dual meaning, which I think is a little bit, it continues to get more and more advanced as we continue to go on. But the dual meaning of substrate, it can mean in electronics a wafer, also called a slice or substrate, a thin slice of a semiconductor, and then also in natural world, the surface or material on or from which an organism lives, grows, or obtains nourishment. Okay, so I think his language here is very intentional because the virus, the contagion, the anomaly is coming from something that is both biological and synthetic. Kind of like the runners, kind of like the Sphit, in a way, kind of like the AI. The Hyman analog is an existential, the human analog is an existential crisis. Says he's describing what he's experiencing in this moment, trying to deal with the information he's just learned and how the company is going to respond to it as an existential crisis. And I think this very much so aligns with melancholia, which is the first stage of rampancy outlined in the original Marathon games. Gaius has now fully understood that the virus, the contagion here in Tau Ceti 4 has initiated this within him, and things are not looking good for us here in Tau Ceti. Deserve CEUs for this. Grasp is a cool reference to Adam being just out of reach of God. Very good point, Wrath. Very good point. Okay. And then he ends with, even as a mercenary, you contributed to New Caloric's mission and humanity's survival, which I think also just paints New Caloric as being someone who's more lawful good, I think may have been put in the chat earlier for Gaius, okay? And as opposed to Traxxas, who I remember at the end of Traxxas priority contracts, what they told us is, hey, you got to go kick rocks. Like, this is too top secret. We don't trust you anymore. We'll put you in the queue. We'll get to you when we can. So I'm a big New Caloric fan now. All right. That brings us to the end of all of the written kind of like raw story beats we've got. Next, we're going to jump into the game. We're going to look at the runners, their individual stuff. I'm just going to go through it, talk about a few rough ideas I have, and then we're going to jump into the maps. I'm just going to point out all the stuff that we talked about mostly. Try to, right, without dying, and do that. Ace, if you want to join my crew or something, if you're still here, you can do that and help me try not to die while I walk around and yap about stuff. If not, no worries. Boundless, if you're on as well, you can join my crew. Try to keep me alive while I'm yapping. Are there any ideas, anything you guys think I missed, any thoughts? I would love to hear anything about New Caloric. Obviously we covered all of this, but any ideas? I know we've had a good long yap sesh. Vase isn't on, me and Random need a third. Ace is here. Ace, if you want to join me, and then we can try not to die. Okay, and I'm going to record this just so I have this stuff here. I'm also going to unmute this while we go through that. And then hopefully Ace is in here by the time I get through the runners and we share our thoughts on that. If anybody has any thoughts or ideas, feel free to drop them and I'll talk about them as they come up. Okay, so first we're going to look at Locust. One, very cool, obviously drawing back to the security officer look. We learned that he's a destroyer kit type, occupation freelance runner, origin ex-UESC special operations, role combat specialist. Okay, UESC special operations makes me think about the UESC special operations personnel that were on the Equanimity manifest for the ship. I do wonder if Locust is legitimately like a one-to-one with one of those, and that he very recently kind of traded over from working for the UESC to being an independent mercenary. It would be kind of cool maybe if the Fork Runner is later introduced as a runner. It would be cool if these two had some sort of lines back and forth or knew each other, some sort of history. And then also we get an excerpt from his UESC Psyche Val subsect runner locust.file. And it says, war is brutal, be brutal, brutal is your nature, be you. You are unstoppable. Thank you so much, Royas. I appreciate you. You are unstoppable. Don't stop. They are the enemy. Make friends. Which I think paints a very cool, this is like a classic military, I feel like, kind of mindset where war is brutal, be brutal, but also, you're fighting for the people to the left and right of you as well, and you want to make friends and have buddies, a team player of sorts. Glitch, we learned as a kit type disruptor, freelance runner, a Martian freedom fighter, assumedly a MITA member or MITA sympathizer, role combat anarchist, break the rhythm, change the chaos, own the cycle, replace the cage, amplify, antagonize, disrupt, destroy, survive, or die. Okay, I think it's cool that obviously she's using a lot of the same text elements that we saw across the Mitazine, where we're getting kind of these words squished into each other, these kind of very like short little bop, 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 maybe this is a very bad way to describe, maybe I'm not articulating that properly, but very direct short statements that kind of have these direct meanings and also dual meanings, and the positioning of themselves are relevant. Okay, and I also think that the initial part kind of looks like the eat the path text from the original games, which you guys have never read. The path text from Marathon Infinity, definitely check it out. It is a real good brain bender. Elster says these excerpts remind me of Glitch's whispered inner monologues from the cinematic. Yeah, absolutely, that's another good point. Don't think of anyone else, this is you. Yeah, see, the structure of these are very similar to her personality. And this is from her UESC Psychoval, so that makes sense. It almost makes you wonder, right? Because what we're seeing in the cinematic has UESC at the bottom, but it's kind of fair to assume that AI we were talking to in there was Oni, I think, at this point. I think that's a fair assumption to make, although I do think there's a possibility that it's potentially an iteration or a construct of Leela or some other entity, but that is a UESC psych eval. So why would the UESC be doing a psychological evaluation that Glitch would be consenting to if she's knowingly going to go do runs against them? I guess New Caloric and these companies really are able to get rid of the potential legal factors associated with that. Okay, then we have Blackbird, Scout Kit type, a freelance runner. Origin is classified role tactical strategist. And notice here that this is not coming from a UESC psych eval, but a UESC threat evaluation runner Blackbird file. Okay, run, see the pattern, run, become the pattern, run, die, repeat, run, deliver the signal, run, the pattern repeats. I think Blackbird obviously has the UESC stuff crossed out, and with her origin being classified, I do really think that maybe she's going to be tied to the Arachne faction, and that the Arachne faction might be a CIA or Black Operations intelligence component to the UESC, either operating outside of the kind of confines of their jurisdiction, pseudo illegally, or potentially well within it, but obviously maybe Blackbird no longer is a part of that and has a little bit of hate in her heart for the old UESC. Live, die, repeat. Yes, confirmed. Blackbird is Tom Cruise. Jumpy cursor is driving me nuts. Thank you so much, Pirate. I appreciate you. Thank you. Okay, and then lastly we have Void. And the cycle continues. Okay, Void is stealth, freelance runner, also an unknown origin with the role of a shadow assassin. Now this is coming from a UESC psych eval. Thank you so much, Third Monarch. I appreciate you. This is also coming from a UESC psych eval, which we see Void sitting down for the psych eval in the cinematic, I believe, right? So it's also fair. That voice, I know, very good, very good. And then I saw a star fade, and the expanse did offer no sympathy until the last spark shines. These are my memories, us as blades, quiet past each synthetic pulse in search of dreams of peace. It feels so much so like this is text coming directly from Durandal when I read it. Obviously, I saw a star fade into and the expanse did offer. Feels like this, delusion of grandeur, this concept that Durandal has, that he's going to escape the confines of his reality and become a god, that he's going to take this force ship and fly off into space and discover what's at the end of time and in the shadows that lie beyond the stars and do all these really grandiose things. Until the last spark shines feels like when the last star dies out and the universe experiences their heat death, the moment before the closure of the universe that in the end of Marathon Infinity we get Durandal speaking about. These are to call them his memories makes it seem almost like he is literally recalling these scenes that Durandal experienced. And then also in search of dreams, obviously Durandal's dream to escape. The edgy poetry nerd, exactly. Void Durandal would be so lame, not gonna lie. It would be. Here's my thing: if they make Void, if Void truly is Durandal, and there's some sort of thing where AI have been partitioned into individual people, and that's what all of these runners are, it's gonna make a lot of the background on these people very confusing, right? Or entirely irrelevant that they even included it. But maybe it's not that, and maybe once again with the cinematic, one of the things that I'm kind of putting forth as potentially what's occurring is that Durandal is here on Tau Ceti and he's trying to interact with the runners and bring out some of these ideas that he found himself feeling and experiencing when he was going through his rampancy, since he kind of identifies with the plight of the runner as being these synthetic sentient creatures. He even recites Ozymandias. Maybe Void and Durandal has a Rasputin and Fellwinter type of connection. That's a good thought, Taco. But maybe he's not directly Durandal, but maybe he's being strongly influenced by Durandal. Durandal. See some parallels, but doubt that it's straight up Durandal. Yeah, absolutely. Because that would be it would be crazy. It would be crazy. More likely that I think the cat is Durandal. I would love Cat Durandal. All right. Ace is with me here. Okay, we're gonna load in with a very cheap Syac kit, and I'm immediately gonna run for AI uplink just so we can get the visual on the things that I was talking about. So whenever you're ready, Ace, I appreciate you hopping in there, trying to keep me safe. All right. Oh, Ace. Let me send Ace a message to make sure we're ready to go. Bang, 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 bang. Da, 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 da. Yeah, Michael, yeah, that is my plan. Sorry, Michael, I just saw your message. So my plan is I'm going to cut this down just so I have a cohesive piece where all the ideas are. But yeah, as soon as the alpha ends, I'm going to put together a much more condensed version of these events. Yes. Makes me think Blackbird would be tied to Arachne. I think that because her origin is classified, but yet she's wearing the UESC gear, and we know so little about Arachne, but they seem like this larger... my thinking is that they might be... Do you want to just pull me or just call you here? If we could just do these 2 runs real quick, just so I can show the locations, and they'll hop in a call and we can run some real games. But I'm not gonna... Hold on. Let me just text this to him. Brought to you by my parents at a very early age. Hell yeah. Thank you, Ace. Okay, you heard me. Yeah. Yeah, no, we'll do real runs after this. I just want to show these few locations. But yeah, so the plan is I'm just gonna cut this up just so I have like cohesive version for people who want to have the want to understand that. But as soon as the alpha ends and I'm not going as hard every day, I will be a delay. No worries at all. I'm just gonna run straight to the locations. Okay. But yeah, so that's the plan. We'll do 2 separate things. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, following. Okay, so there's 3 locations I kind of want to hit on the most. Maybe 4. AI. Hopefully, an AI uplink spawn would be very nice. But we want to see the spores growing over the AI. Obviously, we're learning about how the contagion was impacting the biologics and the artificial stuff, the synthetic computers on the planet as well. So we want to see the kind of melding of those 2 things that's displayed underneath AI uplink. We want to go to where we got the Project Dices log on top of AI uplink. I want to also show the fungus up there, and then we want to see the anomaly and the guy whose body is floating next to the anomaly, and then we also want to see the rings on the outside of field maintenance. That is the big goal. Thank you so much, Andrew. I appreciate it. That is the goal. Okay, let me just read this. Okay, sweet. Sweet. Are we betting? He dies before reaching the shrooms. Run it up. Jojo, excellent name. Thank you for following. I appreciate you. Let's get the bet going. Do I get all the locations? Do I get all the locations I want to show off or not? Undefined. Undefined's gonna go all in. Never misses the shrooms. We spawn in, immediately get ragdolled. Shin! To the Dread Pirate. Thank you, Shin. I appreciate that. Almost 16k to put on. Holy moly. Undefined's rolling in it. Thank you so much, Shin. I really appreciate that, dude. We're getting long queue times, right? I wonder how many people are playing. All right. Okay, looks like we're running straight across. We'll hit the anomaly first. All right.
Over here.
So here we are at bioresearch.
Searching for signs of human life. Survival metrics are unfavorable.
Uh-oh. Survival metrics unfavorable, guys. Whoever bet, I'm sorry. Over here is the bioresearch lab. That's where we got some of the contagions samples that we gave to Gaius, that he was able to analyze and determine that they came from similar or were similar to the anomalous structure. Oh, we didn't even match, and I think Crewfill was on.
Unit is calling for reinforcements.
All right, so this is the anomaly here. Seeing how it's cutting up, it's goes right in between the road. It obviously is defying gravity, and its structure here bursting pieces into the air. I believe over on this side is where we're going to see the colonists who... Oh no, we did get a third defrost. I'm going crazy. I'm losing my mind. Poor guy. I believe in Jake. Ace. Okay, so as you can see, the structures are being disrupted. Also, they're changing into this weird pink color when they enter the anomaly. Okay, hold on. Maybe around this next one. Anomaly walls. You also kind of see the backside. Is that the backside of the planet over there? Let me... Oh. But just all the distortion. Yeah, see how the planet's distorted behind it. Okay, am I going crazy? There's a new caloric truck up here. Ooh. Probably a bad day to be taking that drive. May have missed it. May have missed it. That's okay. We'll come back. We're here at AI Uplink. Try not to die. I think I missed it. That's okay. Here, we'll go to the bottom of AI Uplink first. Was there a reference to a novel in the cinematic trailer, or am I misremembering? The poem, right? Osmandius poem's in there. Ooh, locked storage container. Okay, wait, hold on. Let's get this here.
Stealth engaged.
He's down to me. Kill me. Nice, Ace. Ooh, hold on. Oh, there's someone running up on you, Ace.
Camo filter engaged.
Okay, so here are the AI cores that have been overrun with the fungus and mold. I think we might be able to get a better look down here. Oh yeah, okay, so you can see obviously a lot of fungal growth on these bad boys. Okay, and we're gonna come out here over on this end. I have no idea if his bag's on him, Ace, but I'm just vibing out of control right now. Okay, so that's where all the fungus, the contagion, the natural floral growth is occurring. All right, and then up over here is where we got the Dices protocols. Whoa. Golly. Okay, so I believe it was right up here. It may have been this one right here, because there's this little tower here. But this is where we intercepted the signal from the UESC. Ace, are they down there with you, dude? Okay, that seems dangerous.
UESC reinforcements incoming.
All right, I'm gonna go. Ooh. About to have some invis here. I definitely missed the...
Time to hunt.
I definitely missed the colonists over here, so... Oh my god. Okay, I don't know what they're doing. Pretty sure the colonist was on that side, though, right? Am I going crazy? I'm gonna go try to find the colonist again. I don't know what's going on over here. I must have run by it. Jesus. Why are they doing this to us? Oh, that's a HVT there. That's fun. Fungus creates a mycelium network where the AI can live in a biological computer infrastructure. Yes, yes. The World Wide Web. The Wood Wide Web. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
For 20 minutes.
Okay, down by someone. Is Undefined making even more? Maybe Defrost has got me. Wait, I don't see... Is Ace in here? Did Ace leave? Or did Ace go down? Is he gonna show it to us? Oh, look, he sees my bag. No, he doesn't? Can he show it to us? Come on, wait, turn around, turn around. Is that not where he's at? Where is he at along that wall?
Got a complex shield key to run if you're interested. Ooh, okay, yeah, later I would love to do that. Complex shed key, a shield key, shed key. Nice, nice, nice. Was this Beetle Orge? Is the anomaly just a locked area for launch? No, I don't think so. I don't believe it's a locked area. I think it's just a wall. I think from a map perspective, shed key just outside complex, nice. From a map perspective, I think that what we're seeing is a like just a break in the wall, like a wall to kind of separate the POIs so that you can't do crazy kind of maneuvers and shots. Wait, is this where it is? Is it on the opposite side? Why did I think? Is he right there? No, no. I was gonna say if he gets it for us, that'd be pretty funny. Sentinel pass. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Is he coming back around? Or is he going to get ace? Like, I'm kind of interested to see what this guy does. Kind of interesting. What, is it a blue key or a purple key? Ace, are you still in there? Is he gonna come or is he gonna loot? You haven't found any purple keys? Ah, gotcha. Down to a sniper. Forgot to turn Phil off. Oh, no worries, no worries. Are you wait? Are you still in though? Like, is he about to go revive you? Is that why he's over here? Oh no, he's exfilling. All right, very well, very well. Very funny. Here, I'll invite you right back, Ace. If I can find you. There we go. No, I can't invite you. Can you join me? We'll try one more time. So we got two. We got 2 out of the 4. 16.8k kills to undefined. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, it's unable to join. Only join players that have an open crew slot. Okay, I'll invite you. Thanks, Jay. Anytime, anytime, anytime. Okay. I guess I don't really care if there's crew fill on. If there's crew fill on, I guess it just takes one other person who can kill us out of the game, kind of. Does that make sense? I guess the teams will always be whatever size they're going to be. Do we think that matters? Does crew fill being off matter? Okay. So we saw the fungus growing over the AI. Potentially. The direct kind of physical measure from how this contagion was able to infect humans and non-biologics. We saw the location from which we intercepted the UESC runners' communications to the UESC command. We did not see the body, although I feel like I was running by the right area, so I may have just been blind. And I want to show the reins just on the outside. Is Blackbird the only UESC runner we know about and went rogue? Glitches Mida. I think there's one runner per faction, but none are actually loyal. That's interesting. It's a cool thought. I don't know. My thinking, I think Blackbird might be associated with Arachne, but they could be ex-UESC. But it's just, since we know that Locust was ex-UESC and that's something that they noted, I would think that if that was the case, they would probably write that on there. It makes the queue longer. Okay, thank you, Cry. Someone trying hard while we stare at walls. Good guy, Ace. Good guy, Ace. Down to Clown, help with door. Okay, yeah. Just when we back out, you can join us. We're done with this one, for sure, Cry. Good guy, Ace. Karen. Okay, wait, where are we at? Okay, this is kind of fine. All right. Or I guess actually, let's go there. Let's just go straight to, I'm pretty sure, see, for some reason, I thought it was like on that side.
Alert. Anomalous activity detected in this area. Cyberacne
I could be
advises
wrong.
caution and careful self-monitoring for temporal distortion.
Temporal distortion. Ooh. Now they're making note of it. Cyberacne is even making note of it. Not a care in the world. Fuck those birds. Gear, but the logo's crossed, so she is anti-UESC. Yeah, exactly. For sure. For sure, probably not a fan, I would guess. Okay, I really don't believe it's on that structure. I saw somebody just jumping and was going like crazy uphill. Okay, hold on. We checked that side, or we saw that side with the other guy. Okay, so where is our guy here? Okay, not here. It's funny because I don't really feel like I ever, you know, there's no POIs here, but I don't feel like I, oh, if you want to loot that, Ace, there you go. See, for some reason I thought he was closer to here, but he had stuff around him, right? Dude, this thing is so rad. I feel like there is going to be a little bit of a red herring with a lot of stuff. Oh, damn, like, look how much that... How much it fucks with your screen. Shooting there. Ace, let me know if it's over on that side. You can paint it. I was so confident that it was on this side. Do you have to have the quest for it to pop up, or the contract maybe? Because I feel like I've seen it before when I didn't, right? How much does it do it? Oh, it doesn't do it as much right there. Maybe that was just a game glitch more so than an anomaly glitch. Okay, easy now, easy now. Ace, have you seen it? Okay, for some reason I'm not seeing, you believe you need the contract? Man, I could have swore I had, oh, maybe you just need to be on that step of the priority contract. Okay. All right. Well, if we didn't see it here, let's go look out over here, and then that'll be the last thing we got to do. So we'll have to go back. We'll have to go back to the archives for that one. Is it yeah, it is Traxxas, yeah. Maybe it pop up as somebody on your team. Oh, there's a void right there, or glitch. Chill, guys. We're just. Oh, there they are. We did it. There we go. Those are the Reigns colony structure a little farther out. There we go. Don't worry, Ace. We got it. Oh, Christ, still doing their priority contracts. But do you have to be on that one? We'll get the perimeter stuff, and then when we just do regular runs with Cry, we'll check to see if it's there. Oh, get to it soon? Okay, yeah. So we'll just do that one later. Cool beans. So if you want to join us, Cry, we're just going to go check out a few places. Want to show off Dr. Son and the Tree Baggers. The Tree Bagger 3000. And then I think we'll be good to go. I guess I'm kind of wasting Syak kits here if I'm like literally not even shooting a gun, right? Oh, yeah, okay, we're good, right? I chose perimeter. I have perimeter. I've clicked perimeter multiple times. It's gonna be perimeter. We didn't mess it up. For how I'm gonna play, running around, reading bathroom graffiti, trying not to get shot. There we go. So can I count it as a yes or a no? I think that, I mean, listen, we saw it. We saw it before we died. So we don't die to bots. I'm not dying to bots. I'm running by the bots, full speed ahead. Thank you, Boundless. I appreciate you. Can you get a press badge? A press badge would help. Okay, so we need to see Dr. Son. We need to see the Tree Bagger. And the vehicle with it. And the tree bags. Oh, and when we all right, Mr. All right. A fork salute to you, sir. Yeah, okay. And when we go back to March, we'll look for that other thing as well. Where's that at? I'll paint it as soon as, depending on which one we're closest to, I'll paint it, Ace. Pretty all right. It's all chill, no skill. That's how I play. The most important, the honk. True. We will hit a sick lore honk. If you and Cry want to pull into the chat on the Discord, I can put you guys into the recording chat, so I can pop in there when I'm done. Some good smoke spots. I know, right? Cry. Ooh, hold on. Let me fix this. All right, I have raptured Cry and Ace. There we go. All right, cool beans. Cool beans. So does this mean the map loads based on what everybody's contracts were for the whole run? Odd combination. It is interesting. I don't know how that works. Because, like, are other people on the map seeing that? Everyone just see what, but the body is like a full structure. It even, doesn't it, maybe it didn't have like a item behind it, right? But what would it look like if somebody was standing on that and they're doing the contract and I'm not? That is a good question. It's all client side, same as Destiny. Gotcha. But Dr. Son's always there, right? Because I feel like I've seen Dr. Son a ton of times, especially, and I finished the new caloric stuff first, I think. But I think you can, yeah, she's always there, yeah. She's probably baked in. Interesting. Okay, so we are here. Okay, so Holler, we're going right here. Nice, perfect. This is a perfect spawn for us. All right, so now we're in perimeter. Look, okay, here's some of the white spores coming off all of the life, all the natural green plant life. Same stuff that we see behind the colonist head in the cinematic. Ace is like painting Holler like crazy. I'm running straight to Dr. Son. I don't know. Maybe they see a team. Did we spawn like with a visibly seeing a team? Like, that seems kind of crazy to me. Don't care about birds. Okay. All right, right here, just on this side. I believe this is the south side of data wall. Is that fair to say? Yeah, south side of data wall. Right here we have Dr. Son's body. That's where we get the colonize my blood, liquefy my bones audio log from. Obviously, we have all these beautiful mushies growing out of her, and we can see directly out of her head. Something that is kind of like a consistent thing with the anomaly and the contagion, which we know stems from the anomaly by the end of the new caloric contracts, is that, you know, we see the anomaly pulling the head, the consciousness, the sentience into this blooming purple blue mess, right? Straight from their dome, their brain. All right, going over here, we see the ticks, lovely ticks, the Cetonyanai, maybe, if I said that appropriately. Okay, and here, I believe right there we have our tree bagger 3000, the vehicle which was used as quarantine to contain the infected trees that were putting these contagions into the air. So here we have some examples of the quarantine trees with the seals around them. Thank you so much, Foster? I can't read. Hold on one second. I'll check. And then this is the vehicle that seems to be doing it for the quarantine measures themselves with a very good famous Bora. Thank you so much. With a very good little seal method here with an exhaust pipe going out. So would you look at that? Beautiful. I think that's about everything. I know we're going to show the mushrooms on Dire March, and I know we're going to try to see if we can see the body of the colonists who went into the anomaly as well. But I think that just about, I mean, there's a few kind of environmental details that I'll talk about at some other point, but yeah, just about describes almost everything. Don't mind me, just fan of all of his YouTube so far. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Favester. Thanks for following. Thanks for stopping by and saying hi. FPS crew was so wrong about no story. It sure seems that way. How long have we been yapping? We've been yapping for a while, so I think that just about brings us to the conclusion. It's okay. It's okay. Chill. There's a blackbird up here.
Stealth engaged.
Okay.
Systems amped.
Trying to be as chill as I can right now. I'm not gonna get this. Ah, I'm not gonna get it. I'm out of ammo. I didn't get any ammo. That's okay. We got everything that we needed. We got all the story stuff. Our story run is complete. Rodixy, I appreciate you. Castle, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. So I think we were able to show off just about everything. Like I said, when we go through with Cry, we'll try to hit that other stuff. And yeah, guys, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I'll make sure that I send a full grading rubric over to your professors so you can get credits for this, or CEUs if you're already a professional. Just send me your professional email and I'll get that set up for you guys. Any questions, any additional thoughts? I feel like I've yapped enough marathon lore for this evening. But if anybody has any extra stuff, I appreciate you for hanging out with me, and I appreciate you guys for being into Marathon. I'm glad I get to share some excellent folks to talk with. You'll be getting my bill. Very well, Boundless. Great TED Talk. Big Pog for review credits. LeMail. Very fun. Okay. But yeah. GG's. Indeed. All right, and now we can play the game. We can just play the game. How about that? How about that? Hello.
Hey.
Oh,
How's it going,
we
guys?
can actually play now.
We made it.
There was a tree bagger right next to our spawn.
Oh, is that what
Yeah,
you're painting
that's
like
what-
crazy? That
Yeah,
makes sense.
I was like, oh, you can see it right here.
Oh, I had in my head, I was like, oh, I want to show them that big field. That would have made sense. I was like, what are they saying? There's a team there? Nah, I'm just going to run straight towards Dr. Son.
I'm gonna probably bring some stuff with me.
I'm just gonna bring a kit. And that's it.
I'm kitted up.
Are we doing perimeter?
We can warm up on perimeter if that's cool with you. And then before
that's
we
fine.
take your key on the risky mission.
Yeah. All right.
PhD in yapology. Alrighty. No, we don't play games here. We talk about games, indeed. Story is dope, though. Yeah, absolutely.
I do need to.
Boundless warm up on our perimeter.
I do need to loot 3 runner bags in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll definitely hit that up.
Yeah.
Luckily, you can totally do that on perimeter.
I bet when he covers more lore in the game, probably
you know,
beta.
there's a requirement
Probably
of dire
beta, right?
Mars, so you know.
No gear,
it's
just a
still on the
SciAc
typical
kit.
Cal
I don't think
City.
it pops up,
Close
though.
enough, right?
Wait.
I hope we
hold
match.
on.
Oh, Boundless
Do
is
we
jumping in
know
with
the
us.
Do you know the geographical location of Perimeter and Dire Marsh in Tau City? No, right?
No, we just know that perimeter is like the first big colony expansion, so we're assuming it's on the outskirts or the perimeter of the colonized zone.
Okay. Well, that makes sense for the name.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, Gaius says that to us as well, I believe, when we were talking to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Traxxas hosting everyone's biomata.
I would still bet real money that the anomaly in Marsh is
Ones
the
with
Yara
birthing tanks.
technology, but because of what Gaius says in the last bit of his priority contract line,
Mhm.
that like it's consistent with the contagion, I'm not so sure anymore.
Yeah, I guess you would think that it would appear prior to whatever happened in 2794, but I don't know. Maybe it was activated or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
For
We'll
real,
find these
Traxxas
things
hosting
out.
everyone's biomana. Aren't they the only ones with the birthing tanks at Tau Ceti? If Sekuchi didn't bring a ship, maybe Sekuchi did bring a ship though. That's a good point though. They do have the birthing pods that Sekuchi was a little worried about them getting as well.
Why are we calling them that?
What? Who are we calling?
Why are we calling them birthing pods?
I believe that's the language. I think
is that
that's
the real name?
Yeah, I think that's the
No
language they
way.
use. Yeah. So we see
Damn,
Glitch getting
okay.
up out of.
Identified.
Boundless is
Freaking
solo
fire.
queuing. Nice. You want to be a 4-man Boundless? Guessing Outpost will be an outpost someplace away from other stuff. Good point. Good point, Canis. Deep analysis here.
Who gambled? Was that you, Ace?
Maybe.
Shield's gone.
Here's a real term.
Oh, that is a green bot that immediately. Oh no.
Are you okay?
Go get him, Boundless.
Yeah, sure, totally. No, I'm not.
Are you
Okay,
inside?
Yeah, I'm inside. The bots were attracted to my location.
Do you think that the AI are like a little tougher now?
You're just that attractive. You know?
Am I just that bad? That I think that?
I think. Yeah, I think what they did was they tried to. I know the later AI are a lot more tougher.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they tried to spawn a few more of the tougher AI sooner.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah, okay.
So it's not like it got tougher, it's just like they just made the early game a little bit harder.
Mm.
Maybe, I don't know.
They probably would have put that in the patch notes, I guess.
Yeah.
The
again, they-
overrun feels just right now.
There's
No,
no way
I
they
know.
just put everything on the patch notes, because there's some things you don't really want to tell the people, because like if I say like, oh, I made this
Runners.
better.
How many?
Profit
Okay,
opportunity.
Filter
Two.
engaged.
There's a glitch and a void. The glitch just broke into the building.
Oh shit! Oh my god!
Okay.
Yeah, Glitch is on me. Low shields in here. Pain. Not painting.
Okay.
A little bit of a nasty. Oh, the void, or sorry, the blackbird's with them. They're both in that room. To your right, maybe? Oh yeah, right there. In the OG Marathon manual, there's a perimeter reference, only thing backstory for MR54, shooting womp rats on the perimeter. Can't remember the fauna name, but hope it shows up as a mob. Chakasins. Yeah, he talks about helping the colonists with Chakasins on the outskirts of the colony, I believe. Yeah, we also get that he
Oh,
was from
bully, let's
Mars, that he
go.
remembers the speech that Marcus Tiberius Windia, the president of the UESC, gave prior to the marathon's launch. I believe he may have also talked about his father, and he talks about being the dependable one that everyone can count on in the colony and stuff like that. But yeah, there's a little bit of
You're next to
little
lightning,
bit of
so,
stuff,
You know, be careful.
I'm trying to stay away from it.
little bit of stuff in the manual
I'm gonna
there.
see if I can get on top of here.
I really like the president stuff in the manual because it comes back in the game, right?
That didn't work out too
Unlucky.
well.
We hear Bernard Strauss talking about how if the president had known of the true destructive
need
power
data.
that was on board the
And I
marathon.
didn't find any inside station. Maybe it's on this side of station.
Data as in what?
There's some like research samples I gotta do for nuclearic,
Okay.
Getting stomped
but they
on right
spawn
now.
randomly throughout the areas.
Yeah.
So I was looking for inside for one. I didn't see one.
What's your plan right now, Ace? What are you doing? You rocking out?
So my plan is I'm waiting for those bots to disperse because I was about to go through there to go to the middle.
Wait. You hear
He's
runners.
behind you.
Yep, I hear them a lot.
Hear them a lot.
UESC reinforcements incoming.
Yeah. I'm gonna need more water. Dry ass throat.
I was like, there's no way they see me, right?
Jump
GG's.
scare of the
GG's.
century.
Oh.
That was a jump scare right there. Holy.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a glitch.
Ay. All right, I'm gonna throw my kit on, and then as soon as I hit ready for us to run, I'm gonna go use the restroom real quick.
Okay.
Bang.
Just perimeter again?
Do you guys want to go Dire Marsh? We can wait a minute if you guys want to get a good run in on perimeter first.
Yeah, that's fine with me, to get an actual good run.
All right, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Alright.
Well, would you look at that? The timing. And, oh, did you guys just say the same thing? Did you plan that?
We did.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
We didn't plan it.
We were workshopping something the entire time you were gone.
Good God. That was like weirdly in sync. I'm impressed.
We share one brain cell.
Memory checking.
So what you're saying is our team is so in sync we should not die, right?
It seems that way. It seems that way.
Proceed.
Good golly.
Either we'll wipe every other team off the map, or we'll all die at the exact same time.
Are you doing a contract in there?
I was looking to see if there was a thing in here.
I've
There's a
never.
contract. I see my.
Oh, okay.
Thing says.
All right, I'm fighting.
Okay, I gotta get inside this truck.
Woo. The tree, the maximum defense tree. Ooh.
Okay, that's one. I need
Oh,
two
God.
more.
Jake.
Yeah.
Stay still. Stay still.
Standing still.
I want to see something. Oh my God, it does.
What is it doing?
You bleed when you shoot your teammates. Like your teammates bleed. Here, shoot me. You see the blood?
I'm not seeing any blood. Whoa, grenades! I'm bleeding now. Boundless, have a good one, dude. Thanks
I
for
was
hanging
shooting
out.
you and I was seeing like blue liquid.
Oh,
Oh
shoot.
my
Is that
God! Yeah,
team?
that's a
That is a
team.
team.
It's full. They got snipers, dude. We were just getting
I'm dead.
cracked by like.
G minors. It's G minors. That's a streamer.
Really? Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
There's one play, Cry. The play that they never see coming.
Vic killed me, assisted by G
I'm
minors.
here.
So, if anyone in stream wants to look up G minors chat, you could see, me die.
All right. Listen, here's my plan. The data wall rotate. Nobody ever sees it coming.
Oh.
I'm stuck in here, Jake.
How are you?
Because they have snipers.
No. You're invisible. You can go invis.
I literally just used my invis.
I feel like every time I tell Cry, oh, just go invis, like I just did it.
Yeah.
I just did it.
It's like the worst. You have the worst timing. They're looting.
They're looting.
Yeah, I hear 'em.
Ace.
Yeah, they're looting me.
Should I go in for the kill?
No, they're gonna
Hold on,
come
wait.
around.
Is there anything I can? Oh,
they
there's
just went
nothing
up?
at South Relay.
They're on top of you.
Okay.
Hold on, wait. What is there? This thing over here? Is that what this is? I think the maybe I can call in the thing over here in between South Relay
They have
and
blue
Overflow.
shields, you're dead.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. Our Syak kits will be saved.
Oh, that was.
I have a plan.
That was a little. Hold on. That was a little gruesome. I heard the splash of the knife going into my body.
Yeah.
Did we get to a
So
point
they
where the only people playing, since they didn't let in like a lot of more people, are just like the really sweaty PvP people?
It's possible.
Yeah. Well, it's a Thursday afternoon. I bet if we play tomorrow afternoon, it's gonna be a lot easier.
All right, here we go. All right, I have an idea.
You know.
You're gonna lure them in.
Yep, they're gonna hear it. They're gonna push for that because
You
they're
are-
hungry.
Well, if they're gonna come, they're gonna come through. Yeah. Okay. I see what you're doing. You're going through tunnels.
Yeah. Oh
It might work.
yeah.
Hey, I'm hearing footsteps behind you, so just keep running and don't turn around.
Just
That
keep
is
looking.
not
Just
good
keep
advice.
looking forward. Don't ever turn around. Just run for your life. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, birds. Just be chill. I'm just gonna walk right by you. You guys don't have to do anything. I'm not fucking with you. You're not fucking with me. Very cool. Easy day.
Oh shit! Tunnel.
Oh yeah.
The tunnel rotation.
I'm very familiar
wait.
with your routes. There's no way they're going through tunnels. My assumption though is that
Wait,
because
I'm
Cry
hearing.
was waiting for me, like they might
Yes,
think
oh
you
my
were-
God, they
good
are.
Team. Okay, go through that wall. Go through that area.
Oh my god, they know.
Oh.
They're painting.
Go through data wall. Go left. Go right. Oh,
It doesn't matter.
Damn.
They did go. They
Wait.
did go through tunnels, I think, right?
Wait. Do you think they're
Oh wait, that was
sniping?
no. Wait, that was Shark,
No.
Said Girl, OMG, and Griffin. So that was a
That's a
different
different
team.
team.
Yeah, that was a different. Oh, okay.
The other team is.
It could have been a good play.
Was still at,
It
still
could have
at
been a
location
good
trying to
play.
find you.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
They didn't get baited.
Yeah,
All right, I'm just gonna.
I was looking at the thing.
I'm just gonna brain weapons in this time. Fine.
I have no weapons.
You're
on
gonna
all
make
because
me.
Last time we played, you made me lose it all.
Me. I made you lose well. I see how it is.
Ouch, dude.
Well, we're just stating what happened. You know, it's not like there's a recording of it
Stating
or
what
anything.
happened. What did I do that made you lose it? Oh, are you talking about what was the last game we played? What was that
We
where
did
we
like
ran?
7 runs in a row where we died every time. We just kept
Hey,
going
it
to Dire
happens.
Marsh and dying and dying.
It happens. Okay, wait. Are we going Dire Marsh or are we staying? What do you want to do,
We're going Dire
Cry?
Marsh. I'm gonna change my contract.
We can do whatever, honestly.
All right, we'll try
Why
some
not?
Dire Marsh.
Let's go Dire Marsh. Yeah. Okay. So if you just activate a TAD and kill 2 people, that's all I need.
Hold on. Let me.
Any
grab-
location?
And I finally
Right.
will finish the first priority contract for Traxxas, like the first wave of them.
Nice. Okay.
That's how long I've been stuck on it.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Ping V3. I'm bringing a lot of shit with me.
Oh damn.
as
Okay.
you can
Okay.
see.
Oh,
Do I
4K
put my
back?
key with me or no?
It's right next to. We can go, but we'll push the key first. We'll do the key first if you're bringing it with us. Key room.
We can do that. Yeah.
All right, here we
Yeah,
go.
can do that.
Key room time.
I will.
I'm gonna bring my blue ammo backpack as well.
I will say the last time us 3 were together, we had that great heist where we had all 6 teams come in at us.
Yeah, I
Said this
Yeah, that
team
was
I
right.
a
remember
nightmare.
it like it was yesterday.
Oh, that's weird. You know, I remember it like it was yesterday too.
Oh, I need a field. Here we go.
All right. And you said you are bringing your key?
Yeah, I am bringing my key. I also just have a lock container key that I picked up and I never used, so I'm bringing that with me as well.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So where is it at again?
What's the
Complex
average? What's the average
okay.
DMZ server moment? Is that where everyone converges on one spot? Have you guys played any DMZ?
No,
I have not.
never really caught my attention, honestly.
The coolest thing about DMZ is that if you down a player, like if you down another team member or someone else on someone else's team, right? And their team runs away, that person can hit a button to like request to join your team. So you can go up to like 4 people in your squad and go hunt down the rest of his teammates who abandoned him, which is pretty rad.
I want Marathon
that's
to do
pretty
something
cool.
like that. I want Marathon to do like temporary alliances.
Your team's of 6 man hunting you
I
down
think
when you play
if
solo.
they do a
Oof.
quote unquote solo
rough.
mode, maybe that would be a thing. Where like if you
Yeah,
down
that's a hard night.
like another
Okay.
solo, you could be like, join me.
Hear me out. You drop into the Marathon, right?
Okay.
You're doing all these puzzles and ray light mechanics and stuff like that, and you run across another team. And instead of shooting each other, because you have Brock's chat, you decide to team up in order to solve the shit, and then you shoot each other once you're like at the end to see who gets the.
No, okay. Yeah, a
right?
little bit of a team up until the final moments.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that would be so sick. I think that would be so
Yeah, that'd be
sick.
pretty rad.
Okay, so you gotta go all the way to
Ace, you didn't even
Complex.
bring a shield, bro?
Hold on.
Oh my god.
I don't have anything.
Activating
Everything's
exoplanet
gone,
immune
and I need materials to buy the one from the.
Okay, I gotcha.
It's on the map. It shows up on the map now. I had to drop and grab the key again.
Mighty Cash, I can get a good weapon from that. Is that a Tad right there? Okay, you guys check out the Mighty Cash. I'm gonna see if this is a Tad, because if it is, holy cow. It is, let's go.
Back here? Oh,
There's
this way.
two AIs.
Alert. Profit opportunity detected.
Was it your tat? Ooh, lab zero gel, nice.
Okay.
I'm not seeing any. I got some heavy
I'm done with my
ammo.
detective, finally.
A unit is signaling.
Do you want a backpack, Ace? There's no. I'm not seeing any good guns
Yes,
in
I
here.
do. I'm trying not to die because the bot with the shield started shooting at me.
All right, I'm coming out to
Kill
you.
me, please don't kill me.
Okay, yeah. Let's go help him out. Go.
That was a little
They are going to
stressful.
come through the door though.
Well, I should have
Yeah,
been.
he's
I should have
right
been
out there.
Blackbird. Okay, that's your tad that's just going off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I turned on the TAD, but I'm done with the TAD now. So
I marked
we
the
can-
I marked the key room, by the way.
All right, as soon as Ace is done looting, let's push that.
I'm done. I'm healing up, and then we can just run.
All right, let's do it. I am following you, Cry. Lead the way.
It's a ping ping.
Okay.
So,
Okay, heading your way.
Dual Destiny mission all over again.
I don't know why you did your invisibility. There's two people not invis behind you.
I'm just scared, man.
All right, Craig, go ahead. Use your invisibility now. I just used it.
That's how I play solo. Every time I leave a building, I just pop my invis.
It does feel like that in extraction games because it's like, all right, I'm about to step into like 1,000 places that I could get shot from. Shots at complex.
Really?
Are you guys hearing anything? It may have been the anomaly. Oh wait, I'm seeing.
I'm hearing shots over there, over that hill. Hey, there's more rings over there, to the left.
Well, well, we don't need to go over
yes.
there, so like, you know.
Well, you have to go to complex.
Yeah, we're going
right
to
here.
the B2. I've never been in this
Yeah.
one, I don't think.
Okay, where is this one? Do you know?
It's right here. He's on it.
Right here.
Yeah, it marks it on the
Right
map,
here.
Ace.
Oh.
If you look on the map,
Oh,
Where is Ace?
you're
went-
good. You're good. Go for it.
I thought it was inside the main
We'll
building.
keep going.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Okay.
Getting shot by bots. Ignore that.
Is this really it?
No, you didn't. Did you use your
this is
key?
not it.
Yeah, you didn't use your key, right?
No.
Hold on. Kind of like on top. Oh, someone opened it. Oh, someone already opened it. Oh, that's a bummer.
M77 assault rifle over here.
Oh, okay. Unless, oh yeah, Ace, you can take that. Do you want it?
Yeah, I'll take it. I've never used it.
Okay, so I guess I'm not using my stupid complex shed key. Oh, this one is.
So-
Oh, never mind, it is.
Okay.
Damn, that's a bummer. That's such a bummer.
That
So you
sucks.
got it.
Okay, well, our exfil's right here. We could just try to exfil right now, so then we can try to, so you don't lose your key, and you can do it
We
next time.
could.
It's up to Cry.
Is
That's a
there
valuable
objective
item.
you have to do?
That's not what I meant to do.
Oh, God.
There's probably another team. Commander right here.
Okay.
Okay, Commander shooting. Can this commander please go down?
Is that Cry to my right? Yeah, it is. Whew.
Oh, whoa.
There we go.
Nice.
They're down. They're
Running
down.
around for it.
Yes, yes. I'm just kind of looking around, make sure no one's coming to all our shots we were just putting out there.
Alright, so
Loot
do you
this
want to
bad
exfil
boy.
now or no?
It's yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Where's our exfil?
Oh,
Oh, it's at the other
Right
side of
over
the
there?
blink. Yeah. There's most. Let's take tunnels to get over there. Let's take tunnels.
are you sure it's right there? We can see it. We're like,
Well, if the
Oh,
other
wait, is there-
if
is that a
another
player
team
up
is
there?
Yeah, if there's another team
Scout.
there, if we walk to it, they'll definitely see us. But if we go through tunnels,
All
there's a
right,
better
all
chance
right.
we could sneak up on them.
We'll take the safety route.
Hey, I'm trying to play safe because he has a very
I
expensive
agree. Hey,
key
I
that
dig it. I dig it. There's
Now,
ticks in
there's
here.
ticks in here.
Oh, I need storage drives and epoxy resin. Whoa, Jesus.
I hear him. I hear more, but I don't see the other nest.
I just got another nest.
Okay, maybe there's. Okay, I'm hearing a lot of footsteps above us.
Sounds
I'm
like
hearing bots.
yeah, it sounds like bots. Glorious. So glorious.
Okay, so there's the main. So there's the main building if we go straight, and there's the side building if we go that way.
Okay, okay. I think we go side building, cause that right?
Yeah, I'm going with Jake.
Yeah. Okay, you guys go side. I'm gonna watch main.
All right, Cry, stay in here with your key, and I'll go start it. Cool beans.
Okay. Yep.
Time to hunt.
Okay, come in, come in, come in. Let's close the door.
Let's make our escape.
Okay.
I'm gonna watch the tunnel, just in case.
Okay, all the doors in here are open. I'm trying to get to the roof.
Hey,
Do you have your
hey, guess
prime
what?
ability?
I have my invis.
Nice, nice. Do you have your prime?
Okay.
I do.
How long does it take to normally find a match? I feel like so earlier in the playtest it was like 20 seconds, 30
Immediate.
seconds. Yeah, now it's like maybe like
Now it's like a
2-3
minute.
minutes. Okay, it's ready. Are we pushing it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Are they shooting at you, Ace? Oh, I'm
But
getting
yeah, it was just shooting at me.
okay. I'm getting beamed hard.
We're gone, so. There we go. Holy cow, that was.
Ladies and gentlemen, going to
Hey.
head to bed.
You could,
Have a good night,
let me know
Rage.
you need storage drives. There were some in there that I had on me. I could have given
All right.
it to you.
Pull it up.
Well, look
Pull
at
it
the
up.
bright side.
When I said, I need storage drives and epoxy.
Yep. Yep.
No worries
On
at
the
all.
bright side, we came out of a dire marsh run alive, so you know.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful. Great work all
Came out
around.
with more loot than I went in, so that's always good. Finished the
That's
contract.
always good.
It says my backpack value is high. I feel like I'm running all like terrible shit.
Anything above like 1.5k, I think, is like, hey,
You don't even
that's high value.
Ace, you don't have a contract, dude.
I
Yeah,
know.
you
I
don't have
just.
that.
I
Oh, okay,
just
you're
ranked
switching
up
it.
Traxxas.
Gotcha. Okay, do your thing. Do your thing. I believe in you. What is random messaging me about? Fucking random.
I was going to listen to them, but we have like. I just listened to you say them all, so I don't need to listen to the voice actor.
Me rambling about it far exceeds the beauty of their voice work.
It's more organic, you know.
Oh my god, the rubber duck in Ark, yeah. I need to try
Wait,
throwing one.
Oh, what's going on?
Oh.
Deploying in 0.
Oh,
the
oh,
hell?
Ace isn't ready. Ace must have unreadied maybe or something. I don't know.
Oh, sorry. Maybe let me ready back up.
Ace broke it. Here we go.
Yeah, I tried to. You know, it's all on me. Go back. Ready
Still
up. There we go.
waiting on it. There we go. Okay, we're good. We're good. We did it.
For some
We did
reason,
it.
it didn't equip my other weapon, so I had one weapon and that was it.
Ay, ay, ay. Is there any like I feel like on Discord it's like sometimes it'll say like, oh, you have a thing, you have like someone pinged you in a chat or something. Is there any good way to like find that? Like if there's a bunch of messages?
Yeah. Top right, you should have something that looks like an inbox. If you then go to tab called mentions, that is all the mentions you will get.
Oh my god. Would you look at that? I'm a professional Discord user now. It only took me like
You can also
9 months
quickly mark them
to
all as
learn
red.
that. Oh well, that's convenient.
Yeah.
When you saw the tracks
So
lying for
whenever
the first
we
time,
say,
how do
like,
you
hey,
react,
can you
dude?
look at this, and you can just mark it as red. With
All
everything.
day I look so great. Oh, I see how it is, Ace. That's what you're doing with all my notifications.
Damn.
I see how it is.
Well, did you see in D2 there was huge community puzzle that just happened?
I did see that. I did that. The Chestiny puzzle, which is a very interesting name. Very interesting name for a puzzle.
It was pretty cool. I stayed up until like 7 a.m. last night to see the people solve it because I thought it was so cool.
I tried to stay up, but I ended up falling asleep. I just couldn't.
That's pretty rad. So what? Okay, what was the cutscene that I saw of Drifter with like a chess piece turning into a?
You know what, Jake? We would love to know.
Alert.
Oh, we don't know. Okay, okay.
We don't really know. We have some ideas, but nothing concrete.
Thank you, Adam. I
I
appreciate
think
it.
we'll know a lot more whenever we see the reveal on May 6th.
Okay, okay.
We'll know. Hopefully, all will be revealed, but
We'll see. Okay. What is
the thing behind Drifter's ship was given to him by the Nine.
when are the battle bots? When's the battle bot fighting? Is that May 6th?
Yep.
Thank
that's whenever
fucking
Red
God,
Knights are.
dude. Thank God. A
Vintage,
self-revive.
railgun. Who wants a railgun?
I'm okay. Oh, there's another self-revive in here.
Oh no.
Fork. You know what that means, Ace. You know
I
what
got a
the
self-revive,
fuck that
guys.
means. Oh, okay, there's 3 in here then. I didn't take any, Cry. I'm gonna
Okay,
grab
we'll
one.
take
I grabbed one. This
So then, Jake, you
in
take the
here.
last one, so then we can
Alrighty.
all revive if needed.
Alrighty.
All right.
Okay.
Overrun.
Well, we're stuck here. I got. I just need to collect samples from AI Uplink.
Okay, let's go to AI
Okay.
Uplink, shall we?
I need
Right next to
to loot runner backpack, so you know.
Well, let's run into other people. And...
Hell yeah.
Oh, right there's a sample collector.
Good, good.
Oh, I'm gonna need to drop something, I bet. Okay, right here's a backpack I'm picking up.
Oh,
Okay,
I
got
got the
one.
M77 assault rifle on me, by the way.
Uh,
On an early to run. It feels so good.
I'm gonna just deal with the bots here.
Okay, I see 2 more backpacks here, and then I'm done.
I'm getting rid of them because I know when we get pushed and those guys start peppering my ass, it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, there's 2, and there's 3. Okay, I have to exfil now.
Oh, I forgot this doesn't end. It's
Oh,
just
there's
on.
cash over there.
Oh, that's a interesting cache location. Maybe I've got one up
Yeah.
there. I don't remember.
Yeah, so I'm done with my stuff now. And you need storage drives, right?
Yeah,
pretty
I'm
sure-
not.
Oh, right
I'm
here's
not too worried about it.
Well, it's right here.
Very well. I'll come grab it. Oh, I got a backpack. Oh, I got another storage drive. That's good. Good. Good.
There's
good.
gonna be a whole bunch of storage drives if we go down below in the tunnels. Because we are AI uplink.
Anything good?
I'm gonna keep the conquest. I got a backpack. There's an overrun, a green overrun in here. I guess I should just take these credits. I mean,
Thermal
why
sinks.
not?
Oh, storage drive in here.
What is
Storage
it?
drive in here.
Thank you, thank you. Oh, there's a green
mark that.
core up here, Ace, if you want it.
Oh.
the ends on these.
Storage drive down here.
Will Thief have powers to find contract loot faster? Might solo her if so. I think, was it Michael who was talking about that? That might be really cool. That could be sick.
That could be pretty sick. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think the thing that we've heard someone having was a hook. Maybe a.
Did you get that storage drive down there?
No, I did
also
not.
heard Scarrow talk that one of her skills was a little loot drone that you can navigate in order to steal loot from others.
Oh, that's kind of crazy. That would be sick. Where? Wait, Ace, where was it? Where do you want me to?
I just picked it
Oh,
up.
okay,
I was
okay.
talking to you. Okay, right here.
Use your moon shoes. Get on up here. Thank you.
You need 2 more. We can either go below or go in the building.
Let's go in the building.
And I think
we're more likely to get those player bags for Cry if we're out here.
okay, sounds good.
Oh, there's a terminal up there. The fuck?
Yeah. Oh.
You can get a nice shot of those rings now if you want them.
Oh, it's true. It's true. Oh, I got another storage drive here, and I'm good. I just have to exfil. Look at that. Beautiful.
Okay, I got your last storage. Oh, never mind. You're good.
Dude, the clouds.
So, Cry, is there anything you need?
Recall window will remain
I
stable
need to
for
loot
20 minutes.
runner
The
backpacks,
bags.
so you
That's
know.
Me. It's me. There was a bot right in front of me and I had to take it out.
I'm not
Reloading.
Okay, bot's taken out.
I'm not hearing players or anything.
Guys, this bot just dropped a self revive. Holy cow.
Wait, so we've looted
What
4
is
self revives now?
happening, dude?
They know our team. They're like, all right, their team's in. Put all the self revives on this map. They're gonna need them.
How? Like, I'm so confused.
Warning.
Yeah, I have 2 self
Okay,
revives.
there's a
What the
glitch.
crap?
Glitch right here. No, it's a commander bot just behind cover.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm gonna get to the roof. Just so we can spot teams better.
I hear shots.
I'm shooting this
Jake.
commander.
Never mind.
Hitting it a lot. Not doing nothing.
Is that a runner?
Got him?
Oh,
There
no,
we
it was
go.
a ghost commander. Okay.
Yeah. That's behind this cover over here. I thought it was a glitch. Can you see that yellow?
It really does look like a glitch because of the.
AI
Oh, and
is
here's the
so
fungus on
smart.
a plink. Look at that, blowing these beautiful spores out. Has like a wind to it.
Is that a bot or a team? That's a bot.
Do you wanna? Hey, Jake, look over here. Do you wanna get a good look of the rings?
Oh, I did
over there?
earlier. I got a really good shot from over here. Thank you.
And some nice B-roll.
I was wondering where Ace ran off to after he shut me in the bedroom. Figured the stream was the place to check. Hell yeah, Jill. How are you doing,
Oh my
Jill?
goodness. I didn't shut her.
I appreciate you
not
letting me.
feeling too well right now, so she
Oh,
went
no.
to bed early.
I'm sorry, Jill. I hope you
yeah,
feel
sorry
better
to hear
soon. It's probably from having to
Hey,
put
check
up with
this out,
Ace
Jake.
all the
You
time.
can do this.
Oh, good job. Got your V. Now while you're trying
do
to
that.
go to sleep sick, you're gonna have to hear team.
Runner.
Dude, Ace callouts are good though. Ace callouts are good. They're enthusiastic, and I know what's happening.
Oh, dude, this terminal looks kind of sick. I'm not gonna lie.
Ooh,
Can we go over here?
it's a gangster ladder grab.
There's every time I go to algae ponds, there's a team. So I'm trying to think if we
Yeah,
go to
it's,
field
Stole
maintenance,
the
we can
dog.
swing around.
You want to go to field maintenance? Oh, hey, this door is open.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. So the
I
other
don't think
door's
a
not
bot
open.
can open this.
Yeah, so they pushed into algae. Wait, are we not going through to field maintenance?
That's what I'm thinking. Maybe we go to field maintenance.
Tad
I
up
was just
here.
checking up here. Okay. We're going to. Okay, we see.
I'm hearing shooting at field maintenance.
Okay, do you want to just go there first?
Yeah, I'm slowly creeping up.
Okay, we're going towards field then.
I'm hearing sniper shots.
Okay, I'm jumping over the railing so we don't get seen from. Other one. Okay, there's an entrance up here, and if you go in the door up here, we get high ground instantly.
I just saw shooting here. We could also hit the roof up here and drop down through the. I'm down for whatever, but okay, you guys are over here. I'm coming to you.
Well, let me Let me put up a cardio kick real quick.
Cardio
Hold on,
on.
I'm hearing a. Okay, it's you guys. Never mind. I was like, I'm hearing
Traded
a lot of
Jill for
footsteps
Tim.
close.
Tim. Oh, this is a pretty little gangster route.
Shut the door behind you, though.
Got it?
Okay, got a weapons locker here.
Dude, this room is so sick.
Okay, I'm not seeing it.
I got a shit ton of bags. I was seeing like little light, like gunfire lights over here. From way outside through the rain, though. All the bots are dead down here.
Okay. Let's slowly make our way that way then. So where's our exfil? Our exfil is at quarantine, so we know no one can exfil there.
15 minutes until
Maybe we
signal
should pop out on the roof right here.
Yeah, I'm down for it.
Okay.
Trying to get behind something.
Oh, I'm hearing shooting straight ahead.
Yeah.
Me too.
Oh, they're super close, dude.
Oh, right here. Here's one. And the glitch is running over there. Do you want me to, like, I don't know.
Well, maybe we get a little bit closer.
Here
so
he
we get
is.
the better draw. Oh no, they're so close.
I'm still holding. They're running away.
You can shoot the locust probably.
There's a void there as well. Looks
We
like he
don't
has
have
a
a sniper.
sniper. Oh, they're fighting a
there's team fight
team.
going on. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, purple shield.
Okay. Hold on. Let's let them fight, and then as soon as they are looting, like their spoils, then we'll jump in for the. You know,
Void's right here.
for this.
Hold on, I'm pumping a couple things.
Void is. I guess he's not seeing us. I kind of want to kill this
I'm hearing
void.
shooting.
I'm shooting the
I'm hearing
void.
shooting towards AI uplink.
He's like right on us. Oh my golly. I couldn't help myself. I just couldn't help myself.
I hear him healing.
Okay, that locust is the other team. Tuna.
I just popped an invis.
Tuna's right there. He's looting.
hostile action.
Okay, that's bot shooting at
The
the
void
locust.
was right here.
Yeah, he's gonna try to run because he knows he's stuck in a bad spot right now. And this locust didn't even notice the team fight. Is that him right there? I can't. It's not letting me ping him because there's bags right there, but he's right. Oh, okay. Let me ping him through the wall for some reason.
There's a tad over there if you want to use it.
Yeah,
This
if I-
is
if I was
lost
a void, I
technology
could
in the
go
future.
invis.
Warning.
Oh, there's two. There's two. Wow, they both have purple
Okay, I'm
shields.
seeing another team. I'm seeing another team coming in from the other side.
Can you
Another
ping?
team. Yeah, I just pinged West Marsh. They're coming in from West Marsh.
Wait,
I just saw a
what?
glitch jump over that wall.
West Marsh.
Yeah, I just pinged it straight ahead.
By quarantine?
Yeah, no, on the other side. On the other side.
Are
See where I'm
you
pinging?
talking
Turn around.
about this?
See, the light blue ping. Unzoom.
Oh, okay. I get what you're
yeah.
saying.
So over there. That's.
Okay, they're
I
fighting.
just saw a team jump over the wall. So.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ,
it's
dude, these
probably-
guys all have blue and purple shields. Tim is a 6 runner confirmed. It looks like 2 locusts. They're fighting a glitch. I don't know. We would need some coordination. I'm still up here
Yeah.
with the twin tap. I wish it would let me ping them when they're next to the bags. That is a problem. It's a full. Oh no, it's.
I have an idea.
Here
I have
he
an
is.
idea. Our exfil's over here, right? We could set a trap. We could start our exfil, wait for them to come to us, and then we get the drop on them.
Wait, we never found that void, right?
No,
Yeah, I looked for him, but I think he went invisible and then ran away.
that's pretty likely, yeah.
But if they're right here and they see a team exfilling right at quarantine, right over here, there's no way if they have blue shields and stuff, they'll ignore it.
Whoa!
You know
This is. I just got shot up here on top of field maintenance.
Okay, run towards quarantine if you can. I'm gonna go start our thing, and then hopefully, well, I won't start it just yet. I'll wait till you get closer.
But we're gonna have a team of 2 purple shields, 1 blue shield locusts running.
But my assumption is if they come towards us, they'll think the other team is exfilling.
Okay,
so
I'm
they'll
gonna
fight each other.
I'm gonna shot. It's a
and
fucking
then we can
bot.
just
God
swoop
damn
in for
it.
the spoils.
Bot's an idiot. What is he doing? So you think they're going
Oh,
to
it's right there.
fight each
I think
other?
they'll think the yeah, I think they'll both run over here, think the other one is exfilling, and then fight each other.
So we're gonna push back to field maintenance.
No. We're gonna hide in quarantine up here, and then as soon as we see them come this way,
They're
Locust,
gonna. That's the first
purple
thing.
shield.
That's the first. Oh my God, they're on
Okay.
you. They're on you then. All right,
they're on us. They're on us.
I'm coming. Here we go. We're doing it. Ace tactics.
Oh.
Jill's calling your tactics
can't-
ace tactics. All right.
I can't activate the exfil now.
All right. There's one. There's one. There's the other. Oh my God, dude, they're so gonna smoke us. I could start
Okay, then let's
shooting,
just-
but what do you want me to do?
We could hide.
One of
Well-
them's coming. Shh. One of them's coming.
Yeah, one's pushing, and then you have 2 holding back. I can watch the 2. Okay, you have 1 more coming up. All 3 are coming up.
Can you distract the locust? I'm
I'm
self-reviving.
distracting and missing all my shots, and he's turning around and just blasting me.
Dude, he just fucking shot me, and he's in the room, and he's looting me.
Dude, I'm just missing so many shots right now. A broken clock is
I
right
went
twice
the
a
wrong
day.
way. I thought this door would open. I'm stuck.
You need to leave, dude.
I know. I'm trying to. I got like I can't do anything. I'm stuck. There's a dead end over here.
Okay, hold on. I'm
Yeah,
hiding.
because
Go through the building.
I know, but if this door right here is locked, I have to walk around
Yes,
the other
it
side.
is logged. Yes, it is logged. You have to go through the building. That locust probably stole all my shit already.
Oh no. Okay, it is a full purple team of locusts, and they are right on top of us. I'm gonna try to heal. Oh, he's right on top of me.
Camo active.
Oh my God, all of them are on top of me. Ace, all of them are on me if you want to run. All of them are right on top of this building with me. I thought it was just one.
Should I just run?
You could try to get Cry up because they're all on top of me. They probably think that you went this way. Unless they push back towards the building. Hunter becomes the hunted. I don't know if at any point...
Are you inside, Cry?
I don't know if at any point I was the hunter in that game.
Outside, there's a room just outside of this.
Okay.
I don't think at any point
There's
I
someone
was the
outside.
hunter inside
You
this
hear the
game.
footsteps.
I was exclusively hunted, I think.
I'm just gonna back up then.
I feel like we're running into good teams, right? They got a lot of comms. They're all rocking really good loot. It's good stuff. My thinking is we probably should have just avoided them. I don't think Cry got to loot any. What is Ace doing? Ace, what's your plan here? What are you doing?
So I'm just hiding. My goal, my hope is that they leave us, and then I can get you up. Because if I just try to go attack right now, you said there's 3 locusts all with purple shields.
Yeah, you're not gonna assault, but I mean, they might think because I was over on kind of the farther side of quarantine towards field maintenance.
But
Yeah,
me and Cry was hearing footsteps through my helmet, right outside this door. So my assumption is they came back.
just look at the mushrooms. Indeed, just enjoy
I'm
the
hearing
beautiful,
Bot footsteps.
beautiful fungus.
Inside, there's 6 minutes left on the clock, and
You should probably go.
I no, I think
I don't think we're
I
gonna
think you
have
I
it.
think you
my
try to
exfil
get
is
Cry.
right outside.
I think you try to
The
get Cry.
exfil is right next. The exfil is right next to Cry. But my thing is, I need to just wait a second, because if they're still right outside, then like if I try to as soon as I activate the exfil, they'll just turn around and shoot us. So if I was a void, I could get them up safely, but I'm not a void.
Well, I don't think. I mean, they're probably gonna wait till final exfil and push everyone on the map because they're 3 locusts with purple shields.
Exactly.
But I don't know if they're gonna stay here because they do know that there's a different team, unless they think we're the team that pushed from algae ponds or whatever, right? Or where was it? In between algae ponds and greenhouse?
Yeah, there was like 3 teams converging on each other.
I was killed by Riot and Tuna. That's funny. Could possibly happen. You die? I can't even die. Death is not even the end for me. Not the worst thing at all.
Okay, so Cry, you're right there.
Yeah, in that little room. Yes.
I think
there's no way to get
Ace
to it
just
from
needs
in
to
here?
go for the loot.
In
No,
5 minutes.
you have to go out.
Someone's
and then go
watching
in.
me. Feel like somebody's watching
You
me.
can close the door.
Oh, Cry was in like a super safe space to revive. To be fair, they did have stacked loot, so maybe they didn't take your shit. Did they take all your
They
shit,
didn't
Cry?
take your backpack. They didn't take your gun.
They didn't take. No, they took my second gun,
Uh-huh.
which was a
they
blue
prob-
gun, and
they
they
probably
took
took
my
yours.
self revive.
Yeah. Well, I have an extra, and I will drop it to
And
you
they
right
took
now.
and they
Here you
took
go.
like my Panacea kit as well.
Grab this.
Okay, pick up this self revive.
Oh, the loot. It
and my
hurts.
shield
It hurts.
Okay, Cry, I'm gonna have you activate exfil. I'm gonna try to get Jake.
Should I activate it now? I don't have my invis yet.
You know, you can wait till you're invis.
Do we have any
Wait.
grenades or anything?
No, I don't.
I have a chem nade, and that's it.
Okay, guys. I think what I'm gonna do, if he gets me up,
activate the exfil then.
I think I'm gonna wait for
Yeah,
final
I'll go
exfil,
ahead. Jake,
and I'm gonna try to fuck with these guys.
Okay, got it.
Let's not overstay our welcome.
Jake, you're up.
Okay, I'm just gonna heal real quick. What? How many minutes are left?
Hey.
Hey, wait. Drop me.
Activate the
3
exfil,
minutes.
though.
Drop me your grenade, Ace.
Yeah. There's my chem
Oh,
nade.
whoa, whoa, whoa! I'm getting shot at. Oh,
Okay,
and
I
a
picked it
grenade.
back up.
Is it players?
Is that bots or players?
Connection failing. Exfil
30
within
seconds
3
left.
minutes.
It's players. It must be players.
Oh yeah, it's a glitch.
Systems amped.
That's the glitch.
Okay, everyone get ready.
Hold on. You guys go.
Well, there's no holding on.
Locust.
You guys can
Oh,
do
we
it.
have 4 seconds left. 3, 2. You get in here. Get in here.
No, you're good. Just go.
I'm out.
You're good.
I got it.
Oh, he's pushing me. I don't have my
So Jake's
invis.
the only one that didn't get out.
It's okay.
Yeah, two locusts in there.
Oh my god, they did wait. I don't have my invis yet either. And I didn't get my grenades off Ace.
Okay, we did exfil with 2 self revives, so maybe you'll get another one.
All right, I'm
Does
running.
does it duplicate self revives or no?
No.
No. Okay.
No, it
Okay.
does not.
Dang. Okay, that's the 2-minute warning.
Yeah.
So, and you can't exfil there anymore, Jake. You might just want to run.
It's all good. It's all good. Hold on.
He can though. Where did you get the idea that he can't?
Hold on. I'm gonna hold.
No, I'm saying he can't exfil at that location anymore.
No,
I'm
he
gonna
can, though.
listen. I'm gonna wait for the final
Does he have to start it
exfil.
again? What do you have to do?
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you have to start it again. That's all you have to do.
I'm gonna wait for the final
I
exfil.
didn't know that. I thought it was a one-time use and that was it.
And I'm gonna commit to trying to get one of these guys not to exfil. I have no intentions on leaving. I only want to kill one of them. All I have to do is
Yes,
down and
I
kill
love it.
one.
What's your ammo and health situations like right now? Because
I got quite a bit of light ammo. I didn't have anything. I don't think they took the revive. I think they didn't even take my blue mat, dude. These guys don't want shit.
Okay.
They're here for war,
They
which
just
I
want-
respect.
Yeah.
which I respect. Which hopefully they respect when I do what I can here. Maybe
Silk failure in 60 seconds.
I'm gonna wait to move after the exfil pops up, and
Because you'll be
then
behind them.
yeah, hopefully they go for it, and then I'll try to grab a grenade or something, and then the goal will just be a grenade or a grenade. Hopefully, if I could get a caustic grenade, that would have been perfect if I would have been able to loot yours. But
Yeah.
all right, I'm gonna go invis. I'm gonna try to get to field maintenance. Oh, that water feels really loud.
I will say this is the second time I've had Jake be left behind after an exfil.
Yeah, second time for me as well.
I was never making it out of this one. That's just a fact. This is what fate had for me.
Okay, that's it.
I
Final
could-
exfil probably just appeared, Jake. I would check to see where it's at.
I could also try to stealth exfil with them. Oh, it's right here.
It's not too far away. You don't have to run that far. You are a void. If you just try to get as close as possible without getting seen, there's a chance you just there's like 3 seconds left and you just run in.
I don't even want to get out. I just want to kill them. I just want one of them not to escape. That's all I want. Just more smoke.
Okay, this area has a whole bunch of locker containers. See if you can find a sniper. Because if you can find a sniper, you can stand far back and kill them before they can exfil.
Yeah, but they don't have a void. It's all locusts, right?
Yeah.
Wait,
So
Wait, do I wait? Are you? Hold on.
If it's 3 locusts, they
Wait,
won't be able to spot
I
you
think I'm.
with,
Wait.
I thought I was hearing something. Okay, hold on.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Yeah,
you're good.
I heard footsteps as well. No. I heard footsteps as well.
Oh,
Right,
that's
they're
it.
bots.
Okay, that's what we want. Okay, so if I can just surprise them with a caustic grenade.
Hold on. I swear I heard. Oh, maybe it's your stream. Sorry. Never mind. Because your stream is delayed, so I heard you. I watched you walk up the stairs, and then I heard people walking up the stairs, and I was like, "What's going on?"
Okay,
just
is it
make sure
on the
your
other
stream
side of that wall? It is.
must
It
be.
is. It
You
is.
might have to hurry up.
Head to the right, and then you can go through that up there. There's probably a little bit more cover than just trees.
Oh, I can see it from here. Oh my god. Oh, I wish I had saved my invis though. Okay, these guys are pretty good.
You have cover up here though. Like a lot of it. It's gotta make it work.
Prepare for
Okay.
increased hostile action.
You have
That is
like
literally the worst time.
Are you fucking kidding me?
you have 30 seconds left. I'm pretty sure they stand for 10 seconds. So at like 15 seconds, throw it on it.
Yeah. Bot.
Wait, did they leave?
No, they didn't leave.
Oh,
GG's.
they're not even there.
Easy?
They must have.
GG's easy.
I think they just left. I think they maybe. How did they get out?
I don't know.
Maybe while
they
Jake was
didn't.
hiding, they exfilled above. Because they could have
What,
went to
ours?
a north exfil. Maybe.
Okay,
No,
weird.
maybe they didn't leave.
Complete success on that run. Completed a contract, got out.
We all got
We all
out.
survived.
Like, that was a great run, all things considered.
Yeah. Man, they took my lead.
Okay. Well, goddamn. Look at that. That really works out, doesn't it?
That team was very stacked, though.
That team
Very
was here for violence, and they've been holding on for a minute. See you, Forkside. Thank you,
They
Mikey.
were like, the Alpha's ending soon. Get ready to wreck shop.
Yeah, right.
Is that it for you, Jake, or do you want to do one more?
I'm gonna do one more. I'm gonna
Okay.
do you guys want to do
We're doing
Dire
another
Marsh
Dire Marsh?
or Perimeter? It's up
Or
to
are
you.
we doing?
Yeah. Dire Marsh, because I still need to loot the fucking.
Oh yeah, the bags. Oh
Find
my
active
god.
contagion. has
Wait, they didn't even take my mods. The fuck?
Analyze the. Sample it. Okay.
I have
Do
some
stuff at
really
Dire
good fucking
Marsh.
shit with me.
Perfect. Yeah, but they have purple items. My
Okay,
assumption is they
final
had
run.
Just so like
Clean
good
exfil that
stuff.
run,
Well,
dude.
you
So
can
many
sell them,
good
though.
people.
Some of these were vintage. They're worth like $1K each.
But if their inventory's full of like everyone else's great gear,
I love it. Cry loves the loot
because
so
there's
much.
no
I
way
love it,
we're
dude.
the only team they decided to PvP that today.
All right.
Okay, I'm going in with a bunch of shit. I would like to. You
Get
know,
out.
no, I'd like to get a fucking chem grenade. That'd be.
I have
pretty
one.
cool.
I can drop
Yeah,
it for you.
I have one right now. I can drop you two.
Oh well, there you go.
Yeah, but like, I can't buy them on the black market. That's a little upsetting.
Oh yeah,
okay,
I
I'm
forgot
just
to bring it
bringing
up, my
normal
bad.
grenades.
Wow,
Already.
There we go.
dude.
It says high value for all of us.
I feel like
but
literally
Cry is definitely
every
going
team
in
we've
with
run
6
into.
now, so
Yep.
No pressure, no sweat, all chill. Here it is. Oh, Icarus!
Chilling.
Thank you so much. I really
Jake,
appreciate you.
also I think me and Jake finished our contracts. We Cry left with the self revive.
Yeah, for how
that's
much
good.
we basically just got bullied, we honestly all made it out pretty good. Like it's not not too bad.
We lost 2 self revives, but somehow we had 4 altogether, so we still left with 2. Which is pretty good.
Yeah. That was like the worst best run. That was the worst best run
And we also
I've had.
we
I
also
think.
did the loot container at the very beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, which I feel like, man, those didn't have like a lot of stuff. Are y'all zero to heroing or
And
going in with stuff?
I
We're zeroing to
extracted
zeroing.
with a fork helmet, so you know.
And I took the final
Always
exfil,
good.
so it all
And
comes
you
out.
took
Maybe we discuss plans as a
I'm amazed
team
they
this
didn't
run.
wait till final expo,
Interesting,
though.
Jill.
I,
I like letting Cry and Ace take the wheel.
there's no way they didn't
Steer
just...
me. It's letting Jesus take the wheel. Steer me
Maybe we
where
discuss
our
plans
soul
as a
will
team
go.
this run, Jill.
Take me away.
We tried to, and then Jake goes, I had to shoot him. He was so close.
I mean, I respect it. You know, he was trying to help me with my
What can I do? What can I do? And then I missed a bunch of shots too. Exactly. So. Oh, good teamwork. Good teamwork.
Bioresearch is where I need to go, which we are right next to bioresearch. Perfect.
Brilliant. I feel like always super sketched out when you spawn kind of in between 2 POIs.
Yeah, it feels like there's a good chance they're gonna be going to the other one.
Yeah, it's like wherever you go.
Interference during deployment.
Anomalous interference during
Okay.
deployment. I don't think I've heard that one. Thoughts?
Okay, yep, I have a... My research is in here.
Maybe I hate the twin tap. I can't tell if I love it or I hate it.
Oh, this is a commander, purple commander right at the start. Wow, this is fun.
Jesus.
Oh, he's right down the hallway.
I got you.
Gee, why'd you get in the water, dude?
Healing up.
Get down.
Okay.
Easy peasy.
All right,
Helping hands over here.
if there
Watch him
were
have this.
players
Yeah,
at
get a
either
Kimnade. You can take the Kimnade.
Yoink.
run up to them
Energy
and dodge you
harvesting.
turn invisible, don't worry. Good. True. I'll keep that in mind.
Oh my god, can these bots just piss off for like 1 second?
Oh, long shot.
Get up,
If you
Mace.
want it.
Ooh, I would love to miss some lawn shots.
Miss some long shots.
Does anybody want to green this shit? Twin tap? I think I hate it. I can't tell. I need
have a
MIPS
blue
rounds though. There's no MIP. Oh, here they are. There we go.
I think I have to go down below.
Now we're cooking.
There's a...
I'd love to go in this room.
Where's the stairs? They're right here.
by a research scan key. I think there's a purple key.
Okay.
Yeah, I almost like kind of I'm bummed by the other
This
rooms.
room right here. This room right here is a purple key room.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I think the non-purple rooms are better. Or sorry, the purple key rooms are good, but the other ones are kind of. I don't even know if they're worth it really. It's the stress of the key. Is this game
fuck
based? It's based in the universe of Marathon. I hope that helps, bullying.
Very true.
What are
Who
you,
is messaging me on Discord?
Ace? What are we trying to do right now?
Oh, my thing's over here. There's 2 things I had to pick up over here.
Nice.
For New Caloric. So
Only
I
seen a
just
blue
got one
key.
of them, and now I'm going up the stairs again over here to get the other one.
Okay. Soviet has only seen blue keys lead to underwhelming loot. I think that's my experience as well. I think you need to have like one purple mat in there. You gotta have like something that makes it worth it.
Okay.
Where? What? He went inside. He couldn't hit me, so he went inside. He ran away. He fled from me.
Okay, I'm done.
That didn't help. Thank you so much.
Objection
You're
complete.
welcome.
Okay, I'm done here. So let's.
Oh, I have to kill tick nests, I guess. Die, die, die,
There
die.
are no tick nests below.
There's what?
So-
Oh, there's none below.
There's none below. So.
Oh, what did I? A little bit of a waste there. All right, well, where do you guys want to run?
I don't know. I'm just looting right now. I feel like I'm trying to think of the best place to get into a fight at. Maybe greenhouse.
We could just run towards the anomaly and kind of
LG.
listen for shots.
LG Bonds is the most active usually.
All right.
LG Bonds.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay.
We're kind of coming at the worst angle.
Prepare for
He fears you. Thank you, Fist. I appreciate it. It's giving me confidence. Just downloaded Apex Legends on a scale from Crunker to League of Legends. How bad of a life decision is this? I literally only played Apex like the first week it was out, like just tried it. But I've heard a lot of stuff
would
about it with
say-
this, but
I would say somewhere in the middle, because Apex used to be kind of this space, but now it's like so much faster.
oh, is it?
Yeah.
It's a
I like
league
Titanfall
decision.
2,
Fork.
made by the same people,
Hostile
so
opportunity
that's the only
identified.
thing I can say.
Titanfall 2 is so rad. Did you guys hear that the Titanfall extraction shooter got canceled?
Yeah.
It was a
Interesting.
mode, just letting you know.
Oh, it was a mode?
not
I
a
thought it
full
was
game.
really
Yeah, it was
interesting.
a mode for an otherwise single-player game.
Damn. So we were about to get another Titanfall campaign. They took it from us.
Yep.
That's a bummer. That's a big bummer.
That's like even more
Signal
upsetting.
recall
Yeah.
window
I'm hearing
closes
shots.
in
Shots
20
over here.
minutes.
Towards.
Oh yeah, I hear them.
Yep. A lot of shots. Right over here.
Want this?
Oh, is it? Are you sure?
Okay.
I thought I saw shots up here. Oh, yep. Oh, that's an assault trooper. It's shooting at someone though, maybe. Are you sure it's not at Algae Ponds?
It is. I'm marking algae ponds.
Oh.
Just marking the building.
Are you sure? Okay.
Are
See,
you sure it's not the place that I just marked?
those things pop up differently from the other panes.
Okay. I guess it picked out like a chest.
Yeah. Dude, they gotta fix the contextual pane. There's a thing flying over top of me,
Yeah.
just for reference.
Oh, we have a
Okay,
lot.
we're all together. We're all relatively here. I think we need to get the high ground as soon as possible.
I think we can come up this side and sneak our way up there. They're opening doors up there.
Going up.
Oh, after you. Worst if possible. Yeah, we can't do cool void shit.
Okay, I'm on the roof.
You mean?
Okay, I'm gonna go invis to try to get up there. I'm running.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing the same.
I'm listening for shots.
A lot of dead bots up here.
Hearing shots.
All right, I'm up top. I think Ace is up here.
A lot of shots. Oh,
Player. 2.
Oh, they just pinged us.
Yeah, you have been pinged.
Reloading.
One of them was shot. It's in the building. In the building.
Ace, I'm with you.
If you have grenades, you can throw one. Oh.
Anyone want this?
Grenade out. Oh my god, no, it got stuck on the thing that wasn't a... Oh my fucking god. That is
Oh, right
such
here.
fucking bullshit. I'm not seeing a ping.
Please don't kill me. Dang it. I was going to self-revive. I just needed to... he's down below. He's down below.
Fuck it, I'm going for Ace. I don't even give a shit.
They might have tox grenades. Just letting you
Yep.
know. You're being grenaded. That was a normal grenade, though.
I'm up.
I'm pushing this way.
Okay, I'm
All right, I'm healing. Oh shit, they just shot, Glitch just shot a thing over there.
Watch out, runner here.
Glitch, I see him right here.
Obama Tesseract. Fuck, you can't even be mad at that name.
I got killed by someone called Dead Man Walking.
Oh, he spotted me? Dude,
Glitch right
they're
here.
like lasering hard. I'm with you, and they know that we're
If
both
y'all
here.
can- Okay.
Okay, I'm trying to reload. Okay.
Cry, if I go to you, I
Jake-
think there's people in that building. That's my only thing. But I can hit my invis and go get Cry if we want to push around this corner.
Okay.
But I'm gonna need... Can I jump up off this? Oh, no, no, oh, oh. Getting lasered, getting lasered. Ah, dude, he is
Shield's gone.
behind you.
Behind you, behind you, behind you!
Damn, oh
Dang it.
my god. If my grenade hadn't immediately hit... Okay, do you know on top of those yellow shits, right where Ace and I were, you know how you can walk through the wire that's extended from it? Your grenade hits that wire. That wire is real for the grenade. Aimbot on that guy. Dude, yeah, that guy was dialed in. He was beaming us.
Damn.
That's a good one to go out on.
Damn.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Always good
Good
to end on
stuff.
a low light, you know?
You gotta love it.
Gifted all of my good gear.
You gotta love it.
No problem.
Who's that?
Hey, I just finished my last
Ratoe,
work upgrade. I'm
thank you
fully
so
down
much.
on
I
the floor.
appreciate you. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I'll play with you guys later. Maybe some more some casual homies will be on tonight that won't be stomping us as much.
Oh god.
Yeah, maybe once the weekend hits and that last wave of people,
Yeah.
there's gonna be some new people and we can just,
Yeah.
wreck shop.
Absolutely. I'll see you guys later.
See you later.
Okay, guys, I do have a really good raid for tonight, I think. Hold on, let me see. Let me make sure he's still on. Okay, I have a great idea for a raid. This guy is Stark Fanatic, and I believe, hold on, I might get this wrong. Hold on, wait, hold on, give me 1 second. This is a good raid. This is a good heartwarming raid, I think. Let me make sure this is him. Okay, he is Stark Fanatic, so we're gonna raid him. And we're gonna raid him because he worked at Polygon and he just got laid off today or yesterday. And I believe his wife also is like having some issues. And he said he was gonna be playing a bunch of Marathon tonight, giving out all of his good loot that he's collected. So I would love if you guys could go over there and show him some love, because that's obviously a bummer situation. Okay, guys? So, do some good forkery for us all. Yeah, it does suck. So really, give him a hand here. All right, guys, I'm starting it for you. We'll see. It should be ready in a few seconds. And I would appreciate everyone going and giving him some love. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the TED Talk. I love talking Marathon lore. I appreciate you guys all. I think it's going to send you here in a second. All right, I'll see you guys later. Have a good night, everybody.
Use it, can they?
They can reuse it, yeah. Can you reuse an expo?
I don't think so.
Pretty sure you can. Yeah, let's go check the garage.